Poggy, and today we're doing the Wolfie and Poggy show.
Yo.
On the docket, we got Super Bowl predictions. Deebo Samuel is apparently on the trade block officially once again. We'll dive right into that. Then we'll jump into our top 5 quarterbacks and running backs of the upcoming draft, and that's something that we'll continue to do throughout the entire offseason up until the draft. We're going to do just top 5 lists, maybe do a top 10 in the future as well. We'll jump into that. Then we are going to do the cool thing that everyone loves, because who doesn't love it? A mock draft. This will be the Wolfie and Poggy's second mock draft, so 2.0. You know how people are with the old 2.0 thing. So 2.0, we'll jump into that. But before we get into anything, you guys know our sponsor, water. Without it, I wouldn't be here today. Poggy wouldn't be here today. It's good for you, keeps us alive. It's good for your skin. It's good for your organs. And as Poggy says, it's good for your bowels. H2O, it's the way to go.
Get her done.
All right. So let's jump into the first thing, which is the biggest news of them all. Deebo Samuel is on the trade block, according to Ian Rappaport. Now, I'm personally, I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is just something that's been pushed out there, just some bullshit to say, hey, like, this guy's out here if someone wants him. And the reason why I say that is because the cap hit for Deebo Samuel is relatively high, and I don't understand how it's possible. Let me bring it up for you guys so you guys can see it. Here we go. There it is. And bam. Okay, so Deebo Samuel's cap hit is $31 million in dead money, and then you have negative $15 million in cap savings. So it's really like $46 million in cap hit if you really want to break it down to brass tacks here. I don't understand how that's possible during this season before the draft. Now, you could get away with it by trading him after June 1st with $10 million dead money, $5 million to saving cap there. So it's like $4 million there. But, however, at that point, you might as well just keep Deebo. I don't understand that, like, you miss out on the draft, which is more important, something that'll help you now. You cannot do post-trade designations, so that's not possible there. You can't be like, okay, well, this trade happens, but it won't come into effect until after June 1st. You cannot do that. So I personally do not understand how this is going to work. The only way that I feel like the only way for this to work is if someone said, hey, we'll take the dead money. We'll take the cap hit. We'll do this. Or if Deebo Samuel restructures his contract before the trade and then says, hey, and then we break it down the line, so it only affects us like once a year, like $10 million a year down the line. But then we'll be stuck with this contract for technically like 7 years, paying him $10 million. I don't understand it. It sounds difficult. And not to mention, if you're giving up dead cap money, if you're giving up, it makes the trade a lot. It makes him cheaper. It becomes significantly cheaper. Coming off a terrible year where he was awful, coming off a terrible year where he did not show up, his value was already low. If you're asking someone to take the cap hit from there on too, at that point, you possibly have to give up Deebo and a pick just for someone to take him, because that's how bad it is. I do not understand how this is possible. But before we get into Poggy's opinion here, let me get a shout out to Val in the house, Jake in the house. Good to see you. And Strawberry in the house. Let's go ahead and jump into Poggy's opinion on Deebo Samuel being traded. What do you think of that? Is it smoke and mirrors?
It's definitely smoke and mirrors. There's nothing to it. I think it's just a rumor. $31 million in dead money. We already talked about this. It just doesn't seem like a possibility with that $31 million. Who's willing to take that on in dead money for a player, you know? So the most sense that made is re-signing them or just redoing his contract or extending his contract. So next season we're able to spread that money out and take less of a hit. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I just don't see it. It's just smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. And it's probably just a little bit of a diva attitude from him that he's frustrated from his bad season. And, you know, like most players, they're pointing the blame at somebody else instead of themselves. And, you know, he's saying, I didn't get enough production last season when it showed that he wasn't productive. So, yeah, that's all it is. It's nothing to it.
Strawberry says, do we think Debo's wanting a new contract? Could that be why you want to trade him? I haven't heard any complaints from him or saying, hey, I want a new contract, or hasn't even spoke out saying, hey, I want a contract yet. So that's kind of what I'm kind of pushing back on. Not to mention, if he wants a new contract this year, this is a terrible year to be asking for a new contract, especially after what you put on the field. But from the interviews that I have seen, this could the pushback, I guess you could think of, is that I've seen a couple interviews where he says, I just haven't had the big opportunities.
Yeah.
Which is total bullshit, because I'm sorry, were you not the one that dropped the ball against the Rams that effectively possibly lost the season? Is that not a big opportunity? Is that not did they not make you the main priority against the Rams?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I don't understand how you can ask for a contract right now in this situation. So none of it makes sense. None of it just does not make sense for a trade. It doesn't make sense for Debo wanting a new contract. If he wants out, then he's going to have to agree to certain things of like, okay, well, you're going to have to either take less money or you're going to have to take this restructure down the line, and then we can trade you. But as of now, how the contract stands of $31 million against the cap, it doesn't make sense for the 49ers. It doesn't make sense for Debo Samuel. I personally just don't. I do not get this.
It doesn't make an ounce of sense. No, I think it's just some rumors that's coming out of the background from somebody, probably not even in the 49ers organization. It's probably just some crap that they're trying to start, and it's nothing to – it's just something to get some news out on the 49ers during the offseason, you know. I mean, it's nothing. I don't see it generating anything but that news.
Yeah, so according to Strawberry, Kruger just posted that Debo is selling his home in the Bay Area. He could do that. I guess that could be a sign of saying, hey, I want out and I want to get out. So if that's the case, he's doing that. That's a sign he wants to get out.
Good luck to him.
But good luck, man. Like, how the team's not going to fuck itself over. And if you decide to be like, I'm going to throw a fit and not try hard this season, well, guess what? No one's going to want your ass. You're not getting more of a contract. You're going to ruin yourself. Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense. So if he actually did do this, then I would take that as a sign that he wants out and that he wants to trade. That would make sense if he did that. But that just – yeah. So we'll not stay too much on this subject too long because we have other things to get to. But it doesn't matter. Like, if Debo says he wants out, fine. I get that. But there's going to have to be a two-way agreement between the organization and him being like, okay, well, you have to scratch our back if we're going to get rid of you because we restructured you last year, which it really tied our hands. We could have done it. If we didn't restructure you last year, we could have done it this year easily and got rid of you. But now we can't. It's just we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, it's possible, I guess, to a sense, but it just I don't know how.
No.
I don't know how it's possible. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the next thing. Oh, Terradome in the house.
What up, Terradome?
Good to see you, man. I did not get your friend request on Instagram so we could do a show. However, I can send you an invite to our Discord. We can do that. But anyway, Jake says, I can't wait to discuss Super Bowl. I know you've been waiting for like days. Been bringing that up quite a bit. Apparently, Debo wants new contracts to be traded in his exit interview.
Good for him.
Good for him. I don't know. Like, yeah, Poggy's right. I don't know how you could ask for new contracts after what you just put on the field. He clearly believes that he actually did not get the opportunities. He clearly believes that he did not have a chance to actually prove himself. 51 targets. If you threw 51 targets, I don't even think that's counting you playing running back or backward screens. That would have been running backs. Like, if you're going to ask for a new contract after this kind of year, 51 targets is enough to tell you exactly how productive you are and if the 49ers were actually in the wrong not using you more. With your 51 targets, you were absolutely atrocious. Yeah. So it made sense why you didn't get the ball as much as compared to any other year. Why do you want a new contract? You can't,
right.
can't make an argument.
He doesn't deserve a new contract. If anything, he deserves a restructured contract for less money. So we could talk about that if you want, Debo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's clearly got people in his corner, people in his ear telling him like, "Oh, it's not your fault. It has to be because this is delusional."
That's what happens with players. Unfortunately, you get people in your corner that are yes men, and they just kind of hype you up a little too much, and they put something in your head when you should just be focused on you as an individual and as a player. So that's downside of money.
Strawberries has no guaranteed money, which is weird because if you look at his cap hit here, boom. I understand he has no guaranteed money, but the cap hit. Let me try to find it after pre-June.
Yeah, it's just the dead money that will hit.
Still,
it's his dead money. He doesn't have guaranteed money left. He already hit all of his guaranteed money within those 3 years. It's just that we're still going to hit all that dead money.
So it wouldn't make any sense to just get rid of him like that. So it doesn't matter if he has guaranteed money or not. The 49ers,
he already made his money. Is really what happened. Is he hit his money. So now he wants out because he made his money, but it doesn't matter because we haven't made our money off of them. Really, I mean, it's what it's coming down to is the Niners organization haven't, they invested in him, but he hasn't invested back in the team. So that's what it really comes down to. Is it worth getting rid of him and paying $30 million to get rid of him?
No. So it just doesn't make any sense, guys. I understand that a lot of people want him out. I know a lot of people are saying, like, for instance, I say Debo out, Debo Samuel's in, Devontae Adams in, but like we keep saying, it doesn't make any sense. It's not possible, guys.
Money wise, it's like, I mean, trading out your car, your Mercedes Benz and putting in, I don't know how to get the analogy here. I'm sorry, I'm struggling, but just throwing away $30 million just doesn't make sense, regardless of. So,
and you already have like what $50-60 million in cap right now. You take $31 million hit. Now you have less money to work with in the free agency. Doesn't make any sense.
We have too many holes to fill.
Yeah, you would have to wait until after June 1st. Then you could trade them. Sure, after June 1st, definitely possible from what we saw in the cap money.
Just because it spreads over the next 3 years, it spreads out. But I think if anything, we could just renegotiate a new contract, and then it's lesser money at that point. But he's going to want guaranteed money. So
so we'll have to wait until if a trade happens. Just real quick, if a trade happens, it'll be after June 1st. It will not be during the draft. It cannot be. Unless something happens with Debo's contract. So I understand what you guys are saying. I get it. No guaranteed money. I get it. You'd rather have Devontae Adams than Debo. I understand that. But if you look at I cannot stress this enough because I know that this is going to be a long conversation. A lot of people are saying, just trade him, just make it happen. But it doesn't make it. The numbers, guys, the numbers don't work. And I understand. I cannot stress that enough. And if we did do that, I'd be shocked for one. And be disappointed, not because of he's gone. I'd be disappointed because we just fucked ourselves this year when it comes to free agency and our cap. So that's the problem I would have.
Coming off his career low stats, I mean, if anything. So
Capers cap in the house. That cap, that name just really fucks me up every time. He has no guaranteed money. Good. Michael in the house.
What's up, Michael?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Hey, you're supporting your daughter. That's all that matters, man. You shouldn't feel weird about that. 51 targets equals 3 targets a game. So what? They were honestly better than when they didn't force feed Debo the ball. I agree.
Agreed.
Forcing Debo the ball stalled the offense every time, especially that Rams game. That was just brutal. So
it was brutal to watch.
Debo Jake had multiple opportunities. He had like 6 or 7 targets in multiple games. He's had his opportunities. All right, so let's jump into the next thing, which is Super Bowl predictions. We're going to make this relatively fast just so we can get to the mock draft because Poggy has things to do. So we'll go ahead and jump into the Super Bowl predictions, which are Eagles versus Chiefs in Super Bowl 59.
Boo.
Super Bowl licks. That's what we got going on. Probably absolutely the most atrocious. This is the worst Super Bowl known to man. I mean, this happened.
I forgot it was even today.
Right.
I'm making plans for today. I'm not watching it. So
Personally, I'm not watching the game. I might end up doing a stream where I will do like anything but watch the Super Bowl stream just for fun. Probably won't get a lot of views or anything like that out of it, but just it's a fun little gimmick kind of show. I feel like I might just do in the end. So let's just jump into the predictions. Who we think we're going to win, where the odds are, what score, and all that. So we put that out there. All right. The Chiefs are favored by only 1.5 points, which I actually think is kind of wild to me, but they are favored in the end. I actually kind of thought that the Chiefs would be underdogs in this just because the Eagles are so like good everywhere, like offense, defense, special teams.
besides the refs,
Yeah, besides the refs. That's true. I get that too. But I just think that 1.5 for the Chiefs is kind of crazy to me. Maybe to kind of just throw people off a little bit or something like that, because that is a little bit of a weird number. I'm definitely taking the over on the 1.5. I feel like that's a gimme. I don't think it's going to be the chance of it being that close is really, really weird. And then if it does get that close, you're going to hear nothing but rigged. It's rigged. Oh my God, my odds were beaten. You know, you're going to hear shit like that.
yeah.
I got the over on the Chiefs. What do you got?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Chiefs are going to win. As much as it hurts my chest to say that, I think the Chiefs are going to win. I want Philly to win. I don't like either team. No, I don't like either team. I don't like Philly. I'm not a big fan of their fans. You know, but I'm not a fan of the Chiefs one bit. I don't like, you know, these teams that keep winning and winning, like the Patriots. You know, it drives me crazy. Unless it's the 49ers. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the Chiefs. I know. I'm not a fan of the Chiefs. I'd rather the Niners be there. But no, seriously, I hope the Eagles win. That's the only thing I can wake up to tomorrow, and Eagles win. And I'd be like, okay, good. It's not a three-peat. It's not a three-peat. That's great. I won't have to, you know, I'll stay off things because I'm not a big fan of their fans either, the Eagles fans. But then you got to listen to the Chiefs. Oh, it's a three-peat, greatest franchise in history. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, no, I wouldn't agree with that. I think we could have competed.
But if they three-peat, that you can't argue. It's very hard to argue that if they three-peat.
Their coaches are great. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of hard. So I understand where you're coming from. So you want the Chiefs to win. You want the Chiefs to lose, and you want the Eagles to win. Look, I like the players in the Eagles. I do, except for Jalen Carter. Outside of Jalen Carter, I like Saquon.
I like Hurts. Yeah, I like Hurts and Saquon.
Hurts is a great person off the field. You know, he contributes to his community really well. Great quarterback. You know, he doesn't cause any controversies or anything like that. At the podium, yeah, he's a little bit of a prophetic person or a philosopher kind of type guy, but he's still a good guy in the end. He means well, and that's why I like about Jalen Hurts. I still think he's a mid quarterback, but I like who he is. If he wins one, that'd be great for him. Saquon Barkley, if he wins one, that'd be awesome. However, it's what's making me want the Chiefs to win is those Eagles fans. Those Eagles fans are obnoxious. They are brutal. They're going to burn
terrible,
down
man. They're going to burn it down regardless, even if they lose. So it's going to happen. Might as well just go out with a win, you know?
You cannot get a win and then be like, let's burn down our city, okay?
They're going to burn it down win or lose. They're going to burn it down win or lose. So that's how it works. I mean, Philly's going to riot regardless. They're probably rioting right now as we speak. So
they're burning down
shit, yeah, they're already burning down stuff preemptively. So, you know, no, I mean, there's good fans out there too in Philadelphia, not all Philly fans. Sorry, guys, but I'm just saying, you know, unfortunately, the internet has shown a side of Philly that I've been to Philly before. Their fans are pretty brutal out there. You wear a different team, and they are a-holes. Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, I'm still going to go for Philly just because I don't want a three-peat. If anybody's going to do it, I want the Niners to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If there's a team that takes down the Goliath, I want it to be the 49ers. Okay, and I know we had our shot, we had our opportunity, we failed there, but I personally just want. It's just the fan base, and not to mention, you obviously don't engage enough with the social media aspect of like content creators, et cetera, and stuff like that. So I do often, I see it often, people are going to compare Jalen Hurts to Brock Purdy and then Nick Sirianni to Kyle Shanahan, which is fucking wild to me. You're going to hear nothing but that. And I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, and the people are like, oh, it's just the narrative. Like, why do you care about the narrative? The narrative also is the Chiefs three-peating. That's just a narrative. It doesn't affect the 49ers at all. It doesn't affect their seeding. It doesn't affect their offseason. That is also a narrative. So if you're going to say, like, why get upset over this narrative? Why get upset over the three-peat narrative? It's all a narrative in the end. And the one that affects me the most as a 49ers fan is the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. And not only winning the Super Bowl, compared to the Rams who beat the Bengals, the Eagles would beat Goliath. They would beat the Empire, right? And they would feel this ultimate, like, pedestal above everyone else. And their fan base will fucking take advantage of that. And I just cannot handle it.
They'd be a one and done. I don't see them going for multiple. They'd be a one and done champion. I mean, they're not going to do it again.
They're going to hold on to that. We beat the dynasty. We beat it. The only people that could do it was Tom Brady, and we did it. And that's like,
well, the Giants beat the Patriots. I mean, so who cares? I mean, it's.
No one really hates Giants fans. Aren't that bad?
Well,
nothing nearly come close to Eagles fans. And the social media wasn't the same back then, so we actually don't know exactly how that would affect it. So I personally, this is a personal. I know it was really hard because I understand they beat us. They beat us in the Super Bowl twice already, and so like there's that little animosity there. I get that, but it's not enough for me to be like.
You're just a Taylor Swift fan, aren't you?
That's
what it really comes down. Yeah,
we got bad blood.
Right.
I don't care about the Taylor Swift thing. I don't care about Travis Kelce and his thing. I don't care about that because it does not affect me or me as a content creator or as a 49ers fan or on social media. If they win a Super Bowl, if they win the Super Bowl this year, the 49ers are hardly going to be mentioned. The only time they'll be mentioned is because they contributed to the dynasty. Regardless, they contributed to the dynasty. So it literally does not affect the 49ers. The only thing that affects 49ers is that the Eagles win the game. If that's the only thing. And so I'm sorry. I'm going for the Empire. The Empire needs to win this game for the sake of my sanity. Okay? It's for the sake of my sanity. It cannot happen. It literally could have been any other team almost on the NFC. It could have been the Cowboys, and it couldn't have been it literally could have been the Seahawks in my mind.
Oh my God.
It could have been the Rams. It just couldn't be the Cowboys. It just couldn't be the Eagles. Those two teams. Honestly. Honestly. You're surrounded by Seahawks fans, so I get that. Like, but I'm not. So it doesn't affect me really. So anyway, the Eagles thing, however, they're everywhere. They're gonna make it a thing, and I'm gonna hear nothing but all off season, all of next year, all up until the point the 49ers win the Super Bowl. And not even if they win the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl and it's not the Chiefs, they'll still hold that against Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan.
Well, they made it to the NFC Championship, so I'm sure they're still holding it against them. So whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So I want the Chiefs to win. I got the Chiefs winning. You got the Eagles winning. You want?
No, I want the Eagles. Yeah, but I think the Chiefs are going to win by 7, maybe 8. Let's just say that. I think it's going to be over, but I don't. It's going to be a weird number 9. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it will still be somewhat because the Chiefs haven't really blown anybody out.
One score games.
Yeah, I was going to.
A lot.
Yeah, majority. I think it's still going to be a close game because the Eagles are still a really good team. I just think it's going to be a close game, and there's going to be probably a stupid call that's going to happen, and people are going to.
What's your final score?
Well, both defenses are really. Let's say
the Eagles are fully healthy.
31-23, something like that.
31-23. I'll say 24-28 Chiefs. I think what's going to happen is the Eagles look like they're going to win, and then Patrick Mahomes is going to do the thing. the things he does in the fourth quarter. He's if not the greatest quarterback in the fourth quarter. If he got to drive, if he's got to drive in the fourth quarter, he's going to score at least a touchdown. And it's going to be 24-21 with like 5 minutes left. They're going to drain the clock down to like the 2-minute mark, score a touchdown. It's going to be 28-24, and then the Chiefs defense is going to stop Jalen Hurts just like last Super Bowl, and it's going to be 28-24. With that being said, I obviously have the over of 48.5. And then you obviously have the over of 48.5 as well. So those are predictions. Let's get a couple of comments before we jump into the draft stuff real quick. Let's see what we got here. Draft. Terra Dome says Chiefs by 10. Oh, I can see it. Double digits. That's wild. Okay. Okay. Double digits. 2-score game. Okay. That is damn. I think Chiefs win. I'm not counting out Mahomes, Reed, and Spags. I know they have the best defensive player, best offensive line, best quarterback. They have one of the best, if not the best, defensive lineman in Chris Jones. They have one of the
best head coaches of all time.
Yeah, they have the best of everything almost.
Best quarterback of all time, pretty much.
Eagles by 13 says Michael. That'd be wild, dude. If you blow out,
if
they
Chiefs, blow them out, I'd be happy. You'd be terrible, but I'd be happy.
Terradome, are you sure? I mean, how often the Chiefs win by more than one score? That's exactly what we said. We agree with that. Their games are always close. 4 games regular season and 1 game in the playoffs, Strawberry. Do we think the NFL stops sucking off the Chiefs if they get their 3-peat? Maybe other teams can finally win it.
They're making too much money off that Taylor Swift thing. So, I mean, they're making so much. They're profiting so well off them winning and that girl showing up to those games. They're making. It's
printing money at that point.
Yeah, they are. They're getting all these. What do they call them? Swifties fans to watch Travis Kelce go out there and play football. The viewership has probably tripled, doubled, gone to the billions. So, they love it.
I personally, I like the idea of it because then NFL fans will stop trying to okay, if they keep winning, I'm not going to watch this anymore because obviously the Chiefs are winning. That did come into my mind. I understand where you're coming from, Strawberry. I totally get if they keep winning all the time, no one's going to bother watching that sport anymore.
Nobody wants to watch it. Yeah, if you have
but then you're asking the NFL to be rigged at that point. And a
lot of people are going that way. It's crazy the amount of people that think the NFL is just scripted or rigged. The amount that you see, even people that are prominent within the NFL, they're like, this script is real. This is happening. They want the Chiefs to win because of this, that, and this, and it's like they really got that many people to. They need to give them Oscars.
It's just how they win, though, is the problem. If they didn't win the way that they did, right? Yeah. Then you could be like, okay, fine. Like in the Texans game, for example, in the playoffs.
It's the Mahomes effect. They got to start penalizing for stupid things that he does and then stop calling penalties. Stop trying to overprotect him is what it has to have. Treat him like every other quarterback. Treat him like Jameis Winston. You know what I mean? You can't treat him like he's the golden child of the NFL because there should be no favoritism.
And he takes advantage of that favoritism.
He takes full advantage of it, and it drives me crazy. And that's what wins games for them, unfortunately. He's done it multiple times.
Like that Texan sack?
Yep.
Like that sack where he got hit in the chest. He pushed his head back.
I know.
And then he looked up at the ref like, hey, man, where's my flag? He did that. He took advantage of it fully.
Yep.
And so he knows he gets favoritism. That's how you know he knows. Yep. He's using it. And
he thinks like he's going to go out of bounds at times, and then he'll gain an extra 2 or 3 yards, and it's like
a touchdown against 49ers.
Yeah. Where's the penalty? Where's the penalty flag there? Because they can't hit him if he goes out of bounds. They're going to stop. But if he does shit like that, it's like it drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy. I don't think it's necessary. I do think there's that's the thing. It's not scripted as like the NFL is in on it, but it's definitely like where the refs do have they could have their biases there. They could have
they definitely have their bias there, and they got to be told,
hey, this is your golden boy. You have to
don't let him get hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess in a sense you could say it's kind of rigged on that aspect of it, but it doesn't help the fact that what's the name? Patrick Mahomes takes advantage of it, and that's the frustrating part.
Like
So,
Jalen Hurts isn't going to get those calls that he will today.
No, not even close, dude. I've
That's
seen that
that's what's terrible. That's what's terrible about it. Yeah, that's what's going to make it unwatchable.
Yeah, Hurts going to throw 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. That's insane. Thanks, Jake. In 20 games, 25% is not a lot. Now, if Eagles win, it's going to be a Barkley going off for 200 yards.
I hope Barkley does go off. I'll take a Barkley going off for 200 plus yards and dominating. I'm sure Wolfie would.
Yeah. If Barkley dominates, I'd be a lot happier if they end up winning, because that way I could be like, well, it was Barkley who won the Super Bowl. It wasn't Hurts. Just because of
I'd love to see Barkley go off or running back going off. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Poggy's fetish is running backs. He loves them. Barkley and Smith are both about to have 200 yards. Damn, Jake, you really underestimating.
You're throwing it out there, Jake.
Yeah, we're at the point and laugh at you if that doesn't happen. So, no, Hurts is good as a passer. Spags will be able to dial up some pressures when need to confuse him. Exactly. He has one of the most unique blitzes in the NFL. And even Brock Purdy said it. Brock Purdy has said, like, man, those blitzes are like, you don't see them coming. Just when you don't think it's going to happen, it's like, oh, this is not the time. It happens. He has the most unique, and we all know Hurts is not very good with the blitz. He's really honestly not, and that's one of his knocks. And if you're facing the best defensive coordinator with the best blitz packages, it's you're going to have to win with Saquon Barkley. And no one really runs on the Chiefs, by the way. And so it's good. Something's going to have to give for sure. That was much worse defense, and Hurts hasn't had some of a passer since 2022 season. Yeah, he hasn't had that much of a passing season. And I'll mention Hurts has already come out, and Saquon Barkley's already come out saying, hey, we're bringing back the running to football. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more Hurts running and a lot more Saquon Barkley running than actual passes.
Some zone running, something like that, yeah.
Jake says, I want to discuss a potential OT. I don't think it's going to go OT. It doesn't have an OT vibe. Like the 49ers versus Chiefs had an OT vibe. Now I understand it did go OT. This one doesn't feel like it. It's going to be 35-32, says Jake. I don't know who will win it. Obviously, you have the Eagles winning this game just based on how you're talking. There's no way. Chiefs have only scored 30 points like one time this year. They don't score a lot. They score what they have to. If they
score to win, that's all that matters.
Yeah, they score
enough to win.
Yeah. Salvador in the house. Chiefs are going to win with the refs' help, like always. Possibly, man, especially if Mahomes takes advantage of the situation. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. It does. Like, I understand what you're saying, Jake. Their passing game is not very great, but they score what they have to. They make the points they have to. It doesn't matter. Everyone thought with the Bills game, like, hey, if Josh Allen could score 30, they win the game. They scored 29. I understand it's not 30, but that's close enough. They scored 32. So Mahomes is going to score the points that he has to, not have to live up to some hype of scoring 30 points. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the draft stuff. Those are our predictions. I heard your guys' predictions. I saw more Chiefs than I saw Eagles predictions, which actually I was a little shocked by. But I just, as Poggy would say, God, man, I got to the dentist to figure out what's going on with my teeth. Anyway, all right. Let's go and jump into the drafts. Our quarterbacks and our running backs, who are our top 5. This is going to be an interesting list just because of when it comes to running backs, because me and Poggy super disagree on running backs, and he loves running backs. He's obsessed with them, so this is going to be an interesting conversation. Quarterbacks, honestly, this was a hard list to make. It really was. I honestly didn't even have 5. I stopped at 4 because I was like, they all suck.
There's not an elite quarterback, I think, in this draft class. I think my number 1 might surprise some people. So it was kind of my number 1 and 2 probably could be flopped. It's not.
So let's actually do that. Let's jump into the quarterbacks first, because the running backs is going to be a lot more of fun conversations.
How about this? I'll give my number 5. You give your number 5.
Okay.
Let's trade. Okay. All right. My number 5, Shedeur Sanders, Colorado, 6'2", 215 pounds, 32, 22 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Dude took 1,000 sacks. People blame his offensive line, but I don't think he has a great pocket presence at all. If you go back and watch his games, which I've watched a lot of Colorado games this season, just because of really mainly Travis Hunter, because I wanted to watch him. Sanders, man, he doesn't have pocket presence. I mean, I went back and watched some of the games just to kind of watch him, and he really lacks that pocket presence. I'm not impressed with him, and he just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that athleticism to escape he did it a few times, but I don't think he's going to give you that. He can escape the pocket sometimes, but he doesn't do it enough. So he doesn't have a sense of pressure, I would say.
When he escapes the pocket, he doesn't do a very good job escaping the defender. Like he always ends up being sacked in the end.
I mean, he doesn't have elite arm strength either. So, I mean, yeah,
he's got great. I think he's got some great arm strength. I don't think
I think he's got average arm strength, but I wouldn't say he's got like top tier arm strength.
I disagree with that one. I don't think he's got average. I think he's got actually pretty good arm strength. But I don't think it's elite as we're not like Josh Allen status coming out of college.
No, that's what I would say. Yeah, I'd say he's probably middle tier arm strength.
Middle tier is wild. I think it's a little above that, to be honest with you. But you got Shedeur Sanders as number 5. I do not have, like I said, I do not have a 5. That's the wild thing. All these quarterbacks suck ass. So I just don't like any of them. But if I had to put one there, it would either be Shedeur Sanders or Milroe, to be honest with you. I think Shedeur Sanders does do some good things. I do think that if the guy's wide open, and it's not a very good positive thing to say, but if he's wide open, he'll hit the target. If he breaks the pocket, looks to his left, he will find a guy. If the guy's open, he'll find that guy. I do think he has accuracy. I do think he can be accurate. The problem with his accuracy is, though, I don't think he can see the field very well. I think he can, like you said, his pocket presence is very good, so he's not going to be able to stay in the pocket to find the open man. However, he does have accuracy, I think, and if you gave him an elite weapon, I feel like he would be confident to throw to that weapon. I do see some accuracy. I do like his arm a little bit. The problem is just the quarterback overall of being like the IQ, the pocket presence, the escapability is not even there. So I personally like what he can do. I just don't think he can develop into an actual true starting quarterback in the end. Maybe a backup in the league. I could see something like that. And then my tide obviously was Milroe. Milroe, the only thing I like about him is his athletic ability of just running the ball. He's not a quarterback, man. He's not accurate. He can barely throw the fuck. I guess he has a rocket of arm, is what people say. But I'm sorry, I've seen him throw balls where they're just complete duds.
He has better arm. I'd say he has better arm strength than Sanders.
Yes,
he has better arm strength than Sanders. I'll give him that. He has good arm strength.
His targeting is just like everywhere. It's like
his accuracy's
fucking atrocious. Okay, and he doesn't have good pocket presence. He's just everything. The only thing he's good at, the way I describe him, is discount Jalen Hurts. And I already say Jalen Hurts is discount Lamar Jackson. So he's like third tier in that realm where I don't even think he's going to be. He'll barely be a backup. He'll be Joshua Dobbs at best in the league, in my opinion. So those are my tied for 5.
Yeah, I have Milroe at number 4. That's who I have at number 4, Milroe. Same thing. He lacks accuracy. He does have good arm strength, and he's athletic. That's kind of the two things I have for him. He has the ability to escape the pocket, but that's about it. He didn't put up impressive stats this year. 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He played for Bama, good team. That's an SEC team. That's a NFL prospect team. That's where NFL teams would historically get their players from, right? These SEC teams. So, yeah, he lacks good timing and accuracy. Yeah, Milroe, I watched the Senior Bowl. Terrible Senior Bowl. I mean, terrible.
Right at defenders, man. Well, that guy was not even fucking open.
You know what, though? I will give a lot of the quarterbacks some leeway because I'd say the blocking wasn't that great. The blocking schemes weren't that great in the Senior Bowl. There was a lot of pressure on those quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl. like those defensive linemen were getting to those quarterbacks really a lot during the pressure. I think I had a percent.
But it
I
also
didn't write it
shows you
down.
like what can they do with pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'm not a big. So I had him at my number 4.
Yeah, he's just not that. He's just not that kind of. He's just not a starting quarterback. Shedeur Sanders might be a good back. I think Shedeur is going to be better than Milroe in the end. I think there is something to use with Shedeur Sanders. I just don't think he's this top guy that everyone says he is, and the hype that he has, I think, is just from what's his name, his father, just pushing it out there, saying, "Hey, my son," and shit like that. That's where I feel like he's coming from when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. My number 4 is Kyle McCord. I like him. I think he's got something going there. He's profiled as a pocket passer, though, not exactly a run kind of type guy, just your typical like Kirk Cousins-esque kind of type quarterback. But again, like even if like he's your classic pocket passer, I just don't think he's elite at that. I don't think he's elite at anything. He just like seeing him on the field. From what I've seen, I've just watched a lot of tape, right? I just watched some highlights here and there of the guy, but so so take this for what it's worth. But I just think that he's okay. Like I don't see it doesn't flash off my screen. It could just because what I've seen from other quarterbacks in the NFL and from what's in the college where everyone's just being electric or able to escape the pocket or whatever. But he doesn't. And even when he throws the ball, I don't think it's incredible. I don't think he does anything. That's what I'm saying. He's just a blah, basic ass quarterback, but he could end up being a starter in the end because he has some sort of potential there with some accuracy. I think he's got accurate quarterback. I think he can do things of that nature. But however, can he handle the pressure in the NFL? Can he escape the pocket if you need him to? I don't.
I wasn't impressed with his pocket presence too much. He is a pocket style quarterback, but I don't think I think he needs to develop in that area to where he needs to get a little better pocket presence. His ability to sense the pressure is kind of what I got. So yeah, I mean, I would put him. Yeah, I mean, he could arguably probably be up there with Milroe and above Sanders. I don't know.
Tier,
it's
right?
It's such a hard list to make for quarterbacks.
So, who's your number 3?
So this one actually, I would say I would have ranked him higher, but he's a true junior. So Drew Aller from Penn State.
Oh,
he's a true junior. So the last couple seasons, he's a young guy. So he put up 22-53, 16 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. So he had a great season. 6'5", 235.
he was god awful in that the last playoff game he was in.
Well, he had a pretty good game, but I mean that was a good game. They played a great game. He's a big body quarterback, great pocket presence. Really, he like a Ben Roethlisberger type of pocket presence, can shrug off those first sacks. If you watch him,
okay,
he has the ability to shrug off those players. Excellent arm. I mean, his arm, he can throw that ball 100 yards down the field. I mean, the dude has some arm strength.
Would you say the best arm in the?
I would say he probably has the best arm in the class. Yeah, and his anticipation and accuracy is great. I think he has ability to be maybe not a day one starter, but a future starter. I think, like I said, he's a true junior, so he didn't redshirt. He didn't. He's not like a transfer. He's not a player that played, at a different college or a junior college and then transferred over like some of these other guys. And he's a young guy, prototypical type quarterback that you can hopefully that most teams will see and set him behind somebody and let him continue to develop, right? Like I think he can develop into a future starter. I don't know if you want to try and throw him in there day one, but I think, Drew
what kind of future starter do you seem like if you were, there's 32 quarterbacks obviously in the draft, in the league. So where would you put him at his potential? Like in the 20s, bottom 5 starter?
No, I'd probably put him in the 20s right now. He could start in the NFL. I mean, there's not 32 quarterbacks that I see better than him. Probably he's that he's a big body quarterback that if he gets in the right system, somebody that is a quarterback whisperer that can just help him continue to develop. Because his sophomore season, he didn't have the best sophomore season, but his junior season was great. He had a stellar sophomore season. He's really he's continued to progress. He's not digressing, he's progressing, right? So he's continuing to grow. And if he continues to grow, he could be a great quarterback. And he has all the measurables, right? So it's just he gets in this system, and if he can continue to grow, I mean, the sky's the limit for the kid. So you never know, he just has all the right measurables. Now, will he continue to grow? We'll see.
All right. So you're relative. It sounds like you're a big fan of the Penn State quarterback.
I mean, yeah, I think he could, he could have gone higher if, he was a senior.
I really don't like the guy. That's wild.
No,
actually.
Yeah, I like him.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my third quarterback is Quinn Ewers. I like him a lot. I'm sorry. I understand his year wasn't that great this year, but previous year, last year, before that, he had a fantastic year. I think the potential's there. I think somebody who can actually take that talent because he can be accurate. He can read defenses. He can throw the ball. He's got a pocket presence. He's got the whole package. He just didn't bring it all up into fruition this current past year. I like him a lot. I think he can develop into a very good quarterback. And I think this previous year that he went through just kind of shot his draft stock because he was supposed to be a first-round draft pick the year prior to that. And I like what he can do. All right, he can do everything that you ask a quarterback to do. Is he the fastest? No. Does he have the strongest arm? No. But he's accurate. He's got pocket presence. He can do it all. And I think that, like you said, if you move to the right system, I think a quarterback guru can really bring what you said about the Penn State quarterback. I'm saying about Quinn Ewers. I think someone can really take that 2023 Quinn Ewers and actually turn him into this absolute stud of a quarterback. I actually think he could be a between top 20 to top 10, not the other half top 10, but between 20 and 10, somewhere in there kind of type quarterback. I think he's got it all. I think he's got the full package, but the problem is he just obviously has that up and down season. And that could be just because of the pressure that was on him this current year to be like, hey, we need to show up. You got Archie Manning behind you. You need to show up. There's a lot riding on you this year. And I feel like that could have been the factor. And that's the problem. Like, can he handle the pressure of expectations in the end? I like Quinn Ewers. I understand he's going to be I think he's going to be like a third or fourth round draft pick in the end. But like this class is not strong, all right? There's only one quarterback worth first round draft pick anyway. But I do think that Quinn Ewers, at the very least, in the end, no matter what, is going to be a backup at the very least. Like, there's not even potential, right? I think he's going to be a backup at the very least, and at the very most, a quarterback between 20 and 10. So that's personally who I like him a lot, but not in a way of like he's a first round draft pick. He's got a potential top 10 or whatever. I just think he's got the whole package. So,
yeah. Interesting. Okay. So my number 2 is Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. 6'2", 225. Had a terrible Senior Bowl, but it's like Strawberry saying, D-line, this senior class is deep. I mean, the senior class for the O-line, terrible. But the senior class for the D-line is great. I mean, it was kind of bad showing for the offensive line in the senior class, understandably. The tackles are pretty good for them, but, I mean, the defensive line it was a good showing for them. So, hate to hold it too hard against them. But Jackson Dart's one of those players that he can make plays. He kind of makes those Mahomes type plays sometimes when he's falling down. He kind of makes those. Yeah. He could be. I had him kind of up there with my number 1 because his playmaking abilities. Honestly.
So your tier of Cam Moore is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm not sold completely on all these players. I'm gonna be honest with you. But he has great. He can read the defenses. He has arm talent. The only problem is, though, I still think he needs to go to a team that can help him develop. continued to develop. He had a great year under Ole Miss. Put up a shit ton of yards. I think 4,279 yards. You know,
Damn.
29 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. So he's not a guy that's going to turn over the ball a lot. But the only problem is, though, when he makes those plays for you, but he can fumble the ball sometimes when he's doing those stupid trick plays that he likes to do, those little Mahomes-esque type things. So he needs to maybe transition away from that or
tone it down a bit.
Do it a little. Yeah, so I think he's still going to be a developmental player. So, yeah, I think
that's kind of the narrative for all these quarterbacks.
I think so. Yeah,
how they're developed. Like they're not going to pull off a Jaden Daniels and just be like great no matter who your coordinator's kind of type guy is.
Exactly. I think they need to go to the right team, right? Like a lot of these players, they have talent, but if they go to the wrong team, their career is probably over. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have him as my number 2.
Number 2. It says, I don't know about Ewers. Well, he throws lollipops, won't work in the NFL. I didn't see that.
I'm not a big fan of Ewers. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I think they should have put Manning in a long time ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Ewers was bad this season.
Yeah, like I said, he had a bad season, but
his 2023, he was good. He should have left. He should have left for the NFL. That his stock was a little bit higher. Now it's like dropped drastically because of this season. Poor guy.
Yeah. And I think it was just because of the expectations and the pressure. That's the problem I had with Ewers. Because obviously he's shown that he could do it. But I understand what you're saying. Like he may have some lollipops. I didn't see that many. Like I said, I watched some film on some of these quarterbacks, and I didn't see that. He had some weird throws here and there. Some were like they're like in the air and they just like came down. But I think that was just awkward throws, awkward positioning, and etc. But I think that if he goes in the right system, a guy who can just calm him down and be like, hey, your expectations is a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. You're a backup. Don't look too much into it. And I don't believe in, and if you mean this by like noodle arm, I don't believe noodle arm does not stop you from being a good quarterback. Because literally the top 3, like Joe Montana, noodle arm, Tom Brady, noodle arm, Peyton Manning, noodle arm. You could be a great quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and still have a noodle arm. It's just beneficial to have a rocket because the ball gets there faster. Says, I'm not impressed with Jackson Dart. He has an awesome name for a QB. That's true. He does have a great name. I like names too. Like that. I'm going to get to my second.
I like names.
I like names. I think names are dope as well because, like, for example, Kirk Cousins. I've always held his last name to it. Like, I hate that last name with a passion. It's so stupid. So I've never from the jump. I've never liked Kirk Cousins for that reason. I know it's stupid, but I'm just saying. I like my number 2 is Jackson Dart as well. So you and I agree on the number 2. I think he's got mad potential. I think he could be an absolute steal in this draft. I don't think still don't think he's a 1st round draft pick.
Not a day 1 starter.
Not a day 1 starter.
Yeah.
But you can see the intangible. You see the dual threat. You could see the throws. When you see the flash, you see a Ferrari, right? And you don't know what's under the hood. That's the thing. Like you see the build, right? It's there. It's that what you want in a quarterback is there from this guy. He even looks like a jock / like, yeah, I'm amazing kind of type quarterback. Yeah. And he can push the ball down the field. He's willing to take chances. He's a gunslinger. He's got the full package. But will it be able to translate into the NFL? Like you said, he's had he's taken too many chances that hurt against him. He's made some throws he shouldn't have made. And that's the problem. Like, decision-making is a big deal in the NFL. Can he pull back his decision-making and upgrade his decision-making? And if he can do that, make those incredible plays that truly matter in the end, he could be a starter in this league. I like Jackson Dart. I think he throws a pretty ball. I think he's got it all, man. I think
he has a future. Yeah. I think he has a future in the NFL.
Yeah, I do think in the end he's going to be a starter, even if it's back end. Like even if it's like bottom 5, I think he's got starter potential to be something like that. So bottom 5, we're talking like Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, stuff like that. I think he's got. I think he beat that. I think he beat that. So
hey, Strawberry, answer Strawberry's question there. That Ole Miss, they had no run game, so it wasn't Dart. They had no run game. They had a terrible running game, Ole Miss. So, yeah, I mean, just to go back to your point there, he put up a lot of yards. If you go and look at his stats, he threw 29 touchdowns, 4,272 yards this season. It definitely was not him holding back the team this year. So he did his part. They had no run game they had no running scheme this year.
They relied on it a lot. Is what you're saying.
They threw the ball a lot, and they relied on him a lot. Watching those games,
how many yards he gave? 4,000 something, right?
4,272 yards. That's a lot.
In like 12 games.
Yeah.
But let me get these shout outs real quick. Tyler Helton in the house. Just best Chiefs fan I know. Junkyard Justin. Appreciate you joining in the house. Filthy Casual in the house. Says not the Jets. Sure. Yeah, not the Jets. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, not the Jets. That's what I'm talking about.
Not the Jets. All right.
Yeah.
Papa Jay in the house. Good to see
what
you.
Up, Jay?
Being up in here. I know that someone asked about Salvador. Was it Salvador? Somebody asked about the Deebo Samuel trade situation. We already talked about that, but just real quick, it's just not logical because of the cap hit situation this year. He would have to get traded after June 1st. I heard that he wants he wants a new contract. I get that, but you played like shit this previous year. You're not getting a new contract. Just to keep it short in a nutshell. So that way we can keep going with the rest of the subjects. But we don't think it's bad for both fronts if he ends up getting traded before June 1st. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And then after someone asked about who will win, the Chiefs or Eagles, just real quick, Poggy has the Eagles winning this. Sorry, he has the Eagle. He wants the Eagles to win, but he thinks the Chiefs are going to win. I want the Chiefs to win, and I think the Chiefs are going to win. Paul J said, I'm sorry I'm late. I was doing a church thing this morning. So, all right, man. Keep the faith. I understand, son. I'm going for the Eagles, but I'm pretty sure the Chiefs will win. Says Paul J, you're with Poggy there. Deebo at his best during contract years. Hopefully so. Hopefully we keep him. Maybe he'll pop off, and then we won't resign him because he's gonna be 30. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into your number one quarterback of the 2025 NFL draft.
I think we both have him at number one, Cam Ward. Yeah, 6'2", 223. Good size for quarterback. Through 3,000. Are you sure it's like
Gabriel? He's not Dylan Gabriel from Oregon.
He did have a pretty good Senior Bowl. I'll give him that. I think his stock did rise a little bit for a lot of people because he had a pretty good Senior Bowl. I don't know if you watched it, but Cam Ward, 6'2", 223, 94 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Great arm talent, make people miss in the open field. He's a great athlete. Good field general, really commands the huddle. Makes those wow plays. He's played against some high-level talent at Miami, So, yeah, I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be first-round pick. I think he'll be a day-one starter. His ceiling, I don't know. It's so hard for quarterbacks, Their mental is usually what kills them. I don't think it's so much their talent. I think it depends the team they go to, what happens to them right there, and how they can handle it, because a lot of these guys are going to go to a terrible team. Yeah. So, and that's the unfortunate side of it, right? A lot of these guys, they're number one picks. They don't get that big money like they used to back in the day, So you would think that they would have that ability to sit down and watch play for a season or so and kind of learn the system, but they're still expected to play day one. And, so I think it kind of ruins the quarterbacks. They're not. So, yeah, I think he's my number one. But
yeah, he's my number one too. I mean, he's just clear. He's clear cut. He throws up. He can handle pressure. He's cool and collected. He throws a pretty ball. He can throw it anywhere on the field. He's your bona fide. Like, honestly, if he was a prospect in any other draft, I feel like he'd be considered in the top 3 as well at the very least of any other draft class, pushing other quarterbacks that we liked the previous year down the line. Like, if last year, for example, with JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, and all of them, I feel like it would be Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels, and then
Cam Ward. Yeah,
that's how I'd say it. This guy is a bona fide first-round draft pick. He's a top 10 pick, if not top 5. He is someone. I'm not saying generational or anything like that, I don't know about all of that, but he did break some records. Obviously, was the touchdown record in college, so he has like a pedigree, right? He can, if he knows he's got the protection, and we've seen it in that game, that bowl game, where he was like, "No one's coming at me. I'm just gonna stand here and just throw it." Like he knows when he's protected. He's got the full package. He's the kind of guy that you want on your organization. And like you said, though, he could get dismantled based on where he goes, because we all know what the first draft pick is like. First overall pick is like. He could go to the Titans. I've heard. My God, I've heard he might go to the Browns. Those are the two teams he can end up going to. And I personally think that he should go to the Titans in the end if he could. If he goes to the Browns, he's gonna get fucked up. I don't think he's. Yeah. I think we're gonna end up losing the. We're gonna end up losing. He's gonna end up losing his talent. He's gonna lose his confidence, and he's probably gonna be trash. Probably go down the Sam Darnold route, and then like go somewhere else in like 3 or 4 years. Someone pick him up and give him a chance, because he's got it all, man. If you crush a quarterback's confidence, man, they lose everything. Yeah. And I feel like that's the case, because I do think, I'm not saying Cam Ward is a douchebag or anything, but I do think I do think he's got that confidence, that swag. And when a quarterback has swag and has like that kind of that vibe or whatever, if you take away their confidence, then you take away everything from him. And the Titans have potential. I do think the Titans can take care of him.
They're not a terrible franchise. Yeah. If he goes to the Browns, I think that's one of those franchises that can ruin a quarterback. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're gonna go through the whole Deshaun Watson drama. You're gonna go through the whole like quarterback drama. The whole everything is gonna be brutal. And he's not gonna handle it. I don't think so.
Terrible.
Salvador says, breaking news: Debo just requested a trade from the 49ers. Did he request a trade officially?
No, that's old news. We already talked about that.
Well, I want to say that. I want to see if he requested a trade, though. That's different, because he didn't request a trade
on his exit interview.
Did his exit interview request a trade? I thought he was talking about, hey, potentially I want a trade. I want a new contract or a trade. So, all right. That depends. I don't know. I didn't see anything on him saying he requested a trade, though. I didn't see anything like that. I don't see a request for a trade anywhere. So the last that I know we're going off topic here, but that's so the last thing from Adam Schefter says that the 49ers have granted Deebo Samuel's agent Tory Dandy permission to find a trade partner for the wide receiver. This comes after Samuels asked San Francisco to trade him during the player's exit interview. I thought he just asked him for a.
No, he wanted to trade during his exit interview.
Yeah, it was a hard conversation to have with Kyle because of the relationship that we have, Samuels said today. But I have to do what's best. I'm more than thankful for the Niners giving me the opportunity of a lifetime. But now I think it's best that we find another team. Okay, man. All right. I guess he's
bye, Felicia.
So everything we said about the contract thing, that's gonna be weird. I don't know how they're gonna figure that out. I don't know what they're gonna because the cap hit. So that means Debo's gonna have to agree to some things. Debo's gonna have to agree to some like you guys scratch our back then if we're gonna get rid of you with our cap hit situation. There has to be something, because there's no way they can just move off $31 million and just take that hit. So there would have to be a situation. Like I said, Strawberry, I thought it was he wanted a new contract. That's what I was told. So, but anyway, moving on back to the mock draft situation. Sorry, our running backs. We're going through our running back situation here. Our top 5 running backs in this class. That's what we're going to jump into right now. This one's going to be interesting. This might be a long conversation, a little longer than you want to talk about, just because we're going to go so far from the spectrum. And so let's just jump right into it. 2025 running backs in the draft. Who do you got as your number 5?
Dylan Sampson. 5'11", 190, put up 1491, 5.8 yards in average, 22 touchdowns. Had 22 receptions, 143 yards. He's one of those elite speed guys. He runs a 4.340, I believe. Good vision. Lets the blocks set up. I think he's one of those guys that has patience, letting the block set up. And he's a good short route runner. I think he showed it this season, letting the screen set up, things like that. And he had a few plays where I saw him in a route running tree where they put him on the outside, and he has pretty good hands. So I like that kid. I think he can fit in a lot of offenses. He just doesn't have a lot of size to him. He's 190 pounds, so he's not big. He's not one of those. He's not a big body. He's 5'11", and he kind of has a skinnier frame.
He's 10 pounds away from your ideal running back kind of size.
I'd say he's 5 to 10 pounds if he puts some weight on him. Which he can do easily during the offseason, but he's still going to, if he keeps that elite speed, the kid's going to be dynamic. I mean, he has great hands, short running. He could easily break that top 5. So, yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, my number 5, and this might be a shocker just based on the conversations we had, but I haven't seen all the running backs yet, so that might do the change. Or some of them I want to check out that I think might end up being better. But my number 5 is Caleb Johnson. From Iowa State. I think it's Iowa State, right? The Iowa State? Mm-hmm. Is that what it is? Or is it just Iowa? I always get those confused. The place where George Kittle is from. I like the kid, but he's got this beautiful shift. He's got quick shiftness, right? He's got a good burst of speed. When he sees the hole, he takes it, right? I like the potential there. He's got take it to the house speed. He's the kind of guy he can catch the ball. I don't know about his pass protection. I haven't seen enough of that. But as a running back in general, man, he's got this might be a terrible comp here, but I don't mean like he's this player. It just reminds me of this player when he does this. His smoothness of his shifts, like when he runs, he does like to the side thing. It's quick, it's smooth, it's beautiful. It reminds me of Saquon Barkley with that kind of type of smoothness. I'm not saying he's Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying that smoothness reminds me of that. And I like that. That means you're able to transition between and try to find a hole. You're not stuck. You're not in quicksand, so to speak. But the problem I have with this guy, if you go watch his tape, he has the biggest fucking holes you have ever seen in your life. That offensive line and tight end blocking group are insanely good. When you watch his tape, the O-line, like your eyes get taken off of Caleb Williams. You're immediately looking at the O-line like, wow, they're really fucking good. Like you're just like, holy shit. And so you're trying to focus on Caleb Williams, but you're looking at the holes that this guy makes. So if he goes somewhere, and if he's actually, I like that potential, just because he did show quickness, he showed flash, he showed smoothness, like outside of that. But can he actually find the holes that you need to get to? Can he break the actual tackles you expect him to make? Because I did see him break 1 or 2 tackles that were nice where the guy got underneath his legs and he kind of broke out of it, stayed on his feet. So he does have that potential, but I didn't see it enough to be like, wow, he could really do that all the time. He shrugged off tackles on his arm that like he slipped off, and stuff like that. But you expect that from a running back. I feel like I can do that. I don't think someone who touches you counts. So he's got that potential to be an excellent back. But how much of it was it actually the O-line? Or how much was it actually him? That's my only knock on Caleb Williams. But I love what he can bring to the table.
Okay. So. Nice.
All right. Your number 4 running back.
Trevan Henderson out of Ohio State. I think he 5'10", 208. Put up 10-10. 7 yards per average, 10 touchdowns, 26 receptions, 281 yards. He's our home run hitter for them on Ohio State. Has great field vision, great elusiveness. He was the better back of the two, I think, on Ohio State. Well, Judkins had the injuries, so I think Judkins that's what dropped him for me. Okay. Is Judkins? I like Judkins because of his yards per contact, but he lacks the elusiveness. He's kind of he doesn't have lateral movement, so that's why Judkins kind of fell down my list. I think Henderson has more of that elusive style running than I think he's a better receiver than Judkins too. So I think he was the better of the two backs, in my opinion. So that's why I have a number 4.
God, that's wild, dude. Okay, so Just my rebuttal to that, because he's not on my list, so I could go ahead and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the hype of that guy. Like, I watched him play. He does nothing phenomenal. He does nothing great. I guess apparently he's super fast. He's got like, what was it, 4.39 speed, I think he's got. Let me check. I have it.
I don't know
if
what
I
his
can bring it
40
up.
is.
He's got a good 40, I've heard. He's got a 4.39 speed, right? But
Yeah,
I
439.
don't know, man. When I see a basic ass running back who benefits from the scheme, not only the scheme itself, but also that O line, which has like two.
They run a pro style offense, so yeah, it's a good scheme to have.
He doesn't break the expectation threshold whatsoever at any point. Caleb Johnson even does that sometimes. We're like, okay, he gets tackled here, he's done. No. Trey Henderson, I tried to like him because everyone hypes him up as a top 3, top 2 back. And I just be like, he does nothing incredible. He doesn't beat expectations. He doesn't break tackles. Can he catch the ball on a check down? Sure. Okay. But that's not top 5. I just don't see the love of Henderson. He's got the speed, sure, and he can catch the ball. Outside of that, he does nothing incredible. There's nothing you could tell me where it's like, oh, he's a bulldozer, or oh, he's shifty. None of that. He doesn't do anything.
He's got great agility. He's a shifty ass runner.
He looks heavy as shit.
He has great elusiveness. No,
I don't see
that.
Go
back and watch bowl games.
I thought bowl games don't matter. I thought you said bowl games no one tries.
Full FULL games. Yes.
You could all right. I don't see it. I don't see the flash of Henderson anywhere. So that's my pushback on that. So that is your number 4 running back. My number 4 running back is going to be Scatabo. He does everything phenomenal. There is nothing this guy can't do. He blocks. He was the offense for Arizona. He can catch the ball. He can bulldoze people. He's got tricky elusiveness. Okay. He's got deceptive elusiveness. You think he's just a bulldozing guy? Nah, he could jump to the left, jump to the right. Is it smooth? No, but he can make it happen. If he needs to make one guy miss, he can make that one guy miss. His knock, though, however, is his speed. And speed is what makes you this incredible running back, or what makes you get drafted ahead of other people, what puts you ahead of other players. If he had speed, if this guy had speed, and he was like 4.4, right? This guy's got 4.2, 4.6 speed. He's slow, okay? You can move him to fullback. I like the idea of moving him to fullback. However, Scatabo, man, he could do it all. He's a phenomenal running back. He's got the talent. He's got flash. He's got it all. He's got the heart, the drive. But like I said, he doesn't have that smooth shiftness, and he's not super fast. But he's a fucking bowling ball, and it's going to take more than one guy to take him down. I know you already told me this before. He doesn't that's probably not going to translate in the NFL, but I've seen way smaller guys than him, slow as him, translate to the NFL. So I like Scatabo. He's my number 4 running back in this draft, and the only reason why he's number 4 is because of that speed.
I don't have him in my top 5. He is.
What you think of Scatabo?
Wait, I want you to hear it so you can.
All right. Well, go and talk about something. I really
okay. What are you guys talking about over here? What are you guys talking about the game? Yeah, I hope that the Eagles win. I can't stand the Chiefs. Sorry, whoever likes the Chiefs, guys. Sorry, Tyler. Not a big fan of the Chiefs. But Scabo's not a top 5 running back, by the way. Somebody's got to tell Wolfie.
All right.
Watch. Shoot. All right. You ready? Okay.
Jason in the house. Steve-O in the house. Sorry.
I agree with you on a couple things on Scabo. He's a good short down running back. He'll get you those couple yards that you need. He doesn't have elite breakaway speed. He's not going to get you long runs because he runs a 4.63 40 or something like that. He's not a fullback. He's 215 pounds. He's not big enough to be a fullback. He doesn't have elite style run blocking.
CJ Ham plays fullback.
He doesn't have elite style run blocking. He didn't show the best run blocking when he was, or pass protecting when he was back there. Oh. Also, your boy fumbled 4 times this season. He has 10 career fumbles. So he has a little bit of the fumbleitis. So yes, I think he will help out in the NFL, but I don't think he's going to be a day one starter. He's not a starting running back in the NFL. Nobody can have a running back that starts and can't get those breakaways like that. I mean, he's not, and then has problems securing the football. You don't want a guy that has 10 career fumbles over the course of a season, and especially with 4 last season. So I don't see him as that elite running back that you do. I just don't have him there. So no, I mean, that's, and running a 4.62.
Elite might be a bit of a stretch.
I have him at number 7 in my top 10. So
at least he's in your top 10 because he's got it, man.
I think he's one of those guys you can rely on to come in at third down or on a goal line to fight for those yards that you need. He is a guy that he has a high motor. He will get those. He's a yak guy or yards after contact guy. So what do you have? 4 yards after contact. So he's one of those guys that on average 4 yards after contact, you get somebody that's going to make that contact on him, he's going to get those yards after contact. So I mean, he's one of those guys.
He's like a Montgomery. You can use him at a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see him being a starter in the NFL, but he could be that guy that you need him to come in and get those yards every once in a while. And he is a good receiving back. I'll give him that. He has really great hands. He's a good short route runner. The biggest problem he's going to have, though, is if he can't hold on to that ball in the NFL, or if he struggled to hold on to that ball in the college.
3 fumbles this past season.
Yeah, 4 fumbles this past season.
3.
If he,
I saw 3.
Okay, I thought it was 4. He has 10 on his career, but if he,
it's a lot of fumbles.
That's what I'm saying. If you had struggled to hold on to the ball in college, imagine transferring that over to the NFL where you have elite guys that know how to punch that ball, that know how to strip that ball. So he's got to really work on that. So I actually like Scatbo. You think I don't like him, but I actually like him. I'm just not as big on him as you are. I loved watching him in that bowl game. I love watching him in that bowl game fighting for those yards because running backs are so digged on a lot of the times. I love watching him with that attitude and that FU attitude fighting for those yards. I love seeing that. It's just, unfortunately, he doesn't have the speed. He's going to get knocked hard because of his speed. I'm interested to see him in the combine.
But do you think the fact that he fumbles the ball a lot is because he has so much passion of trying to like constantly get the next yard, like even puts the ball in danger and stuff like that?
Maybe that's the problem is that, when the running backs are fighting for those yards or fighting for those extra yards, and maybe he's taking his hand off the ball and trying to push players with that off-ball hand. And if you only have it secured with one hand, you got guy with 2 hands on your arm. He's got 2 to 1, and he's ripping that ball away. So that's where you find a lot of problems. A lot of these other big ball players, like, you got like Caleb Johnson and Mari Hampton, they know how to secure that ball. These big running backs, they know how to 2-hand that ball. And that's why they don't have fumbles on their careers when they're getting multi-tackles and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's my take on Scatbro. I like him. I hope he gets picked up. I think he could fit in the 49ers somewhere, but I wouldn't.
You take him in the 5th round, right?
I would take him in the 5th round if I was to take him. I think we have too many things to address, and I don't think running back's one of them right now. So,
So who is your number 3?
I have Caleb Johnson. So I know you said you're not big on him because you think, but he was the only offense they had this season. They weren't a very good passing team at all. When all defense went out there, they knew. Even when I was watching the games, the announcers would go, "Watch this play. It's going to go to Caleb Johnson." they knew who the ball was going to regardless of that offensive line. So yes, the offensive line and tight ends, they always have elite style tight ends. That's one thing Iowa is known for. Not so much their offensive line. Their offensive line, the highlights you'll watch and things like that, yeah, okay. They're pretty good, but I wouldn't say they're elite. Their offensive line's not known for being elite. But Caleb Johnson's pretty much their offense that season. He did put up 22 receptions, 190 yards, and a couple touchdowns, so he can run those routes. His yards after contact, 4.2 yards after contact. So once you make that initial contact, he's going to run through it. It has a great burst of speed. Once he hits that hole, he's gone. And he can hit that edge. I would kind of argue that he lacks a little bit of lateral movement. I don't think he can really juke those players. He doesn't have. I would say he's more of a I would say he's more of that run through you player. I'd say he's more of a Leonard Fournette type player.
Just Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Not Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson?
Yeah.
Really?
I would say he's more of a Leonard Fournette to me. That's who he reminded me of.
Oh, man, we're on different specials with Caleb Johnson. I think he's way more shifty than he is a bulldozer.
No, he's a bulldozer. He is definitely a bulldozer. Caleb Johnson.
I don't think I saw a single bulldozer.
He runs through people. You see, I think there was one game I was watching. I can't remember the game. Shoot. Where he broke like 7 tackles or something like that. Ran through 3 guys and then some arm tackles. Like he's got a good low center of gravity. So he's a good player. So
okay, that's actually all right. Who we think Caleb Johnson. I thought we'd be like at least be relatable on who Caleb Johnson is, but I don't. Okay, all right. However, my number 3 is going to be Dylan Sampson. I like him a lot. Like you said, he could do it all. He's a do-it-all back. You know, the size is really just the issue. He did have a couple. I think he had like 1 or 2 fumbles. I can't remember if there was a first-round draft pick. I think it was Malachi. No, he's not a first-round draft pick, but Malachi Moore. I looked at his film recently. He's a safety for the Alabama. He made Samson fumble, but
Dylan doesn't have any fumbles.
He fumbled one time, or it could have been last year. It could have been a film a highlight of him last year then. But he did fumble. It was Sampson, and I like the guy. I think he's a great run back. He's shifty. He's someone who's ideal for 49ers. He could do jet sweeps. He could do screens. He could catch the ball in the backfield. Not going to block for you or anything like that. So if he's in the backfield, it's very low chance that he's actually going to be it's going to be a run if he's in the backfield. So it's kind of predictable in that aspect. But he's everything you ask of a running back and what he can bring to the table when it comes to being shifty, finding the hole, catching the ball. He, like you said, just the size is the problem. Like, can that translate to the NFL? Can he stay healthy? And can he withstand the hits that you take in the NFL that would knock the ball out? You know, can he do those things? I do like Sampson. He's my number 3 running back just because of that. And keep in mind, this is a nice running back class. Number 3, honestly, would be Nick Singleton if it wasn't for him going back into college. He was one of my favorite, just gems, and he probably would have been my number 2 at that point, maybe even. But I got Dylan Sampson as my number 3 running back. So your number 2.
My number 2, Omarion Hampton. Really big on this kid. Freakish, elite athleticism. I know. I don't know why you don't like him.
Go ahead. Spit how far.
I mean, 6 foot, 220 pounds, put up 660 yards, 1660 yards. Sorry, 5.9 yards, an average 16 touchdowns, 38 receptions, 373 yards, 2 touchdowns. Plants his foot, hits the hole hard, led the nation in yards after contact. Had the 6th most missed tackles in college this year with 72. 4.35 yards after contact, which is huge for him. I think the only person that beat him was Ashton Jeanty in that category. So has great elite level speed for his size. The kid's a freakish athlete. I mean, there's nothing but upside to him. I think he's a day one starter. He'll be an elite level running back. I think I'm big on him. I think Omarion's going to be good in the NFL. Not a lot of wear and tear on him.
I think what I don't like about Omarion Hampton is that when I watched him, he did nothing to beat expectations. You want to say he broke tackles, but the tackles he broke were barely touching his ass. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He had some moments where he broke tackles or whatever. The expectation of a power bowling ball back that I expect the way you praise of him. I expect that. But he did have some moments, right? But moments. It didn't seem consistent. It didn't seem to be flashy. When he was breaking tackles, he was practically falling to the ground and then ends up falling into the ground. He doesn't have the breakaway speed that you want of a running back. He, like I said, doesn't break the expectations, doesn't look fast on the field at all. So his field speed isn't there. I think he just looks like your run-of-the-mill. Do I think he's going to be a starter in the NFL? Yes, I think he could be a starter in the NFL. But I'm talking like back half, like from 15
Just knock on my door when you're ready.
Your run-of-the-mill running back, your average running back that you can find anywhere at any point. At some point, sure, maybe he could be this guy, and I'm being wrong, but I saw nothing impressive about this guy. I was expecting the way you hyped him up, man. I was expecting, oh my God, this guy's going to be good. And then I watched it, and I was like, who the fuck? This guy's not doing anything special. He's breaking some tackles, but number one?
He's my number 2.
Number 2, I mean?
Yeah.
I cannot.
Who do you have at number 2?
My number 2 is going to be this is a hot take. This is a hot take just because, but when I watch him play, I'm in love with this running back. So I'm giving the minority when I say this, but when you watch him play, it is phenomenal. Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State.
Oh my goodness. You're definitely in a class of your own.
So fucking good. This guy is so fucking good. He hurdles, he breaks tackles galore. And I'm not talking like breaking tackles and like powerhousing it like Hampton supposedly does. He's got like I can't think of the word, but people just slicks off of him. He shakes tackles. He wasn't used a lot. He wasn't used a lot in college as much. He doesn't have a lot of yards or whatever, but he wasn't used a lot. But
because he's not that good.
He's got great finesse. He's got great power if you need him to. He can catch the ball, and he's got great instincts. That man is going to be a starter in this league. He's going to be a great running back in the NFL, and whoever drafts him, I promise you, is an absolute steal. He is my number 2 above all the rest of these guys. I don't give a shit. Like I said, I understand. When I watched him play, I was like, oh my God, this guy's insanely good. Then I went to go do research on him, what people had to say about him. They are down on him. They think he's like the 15th to like 10th back. Or
I don't even have him in my top 10.
Don't even have a top 10.
No.
Some people have him in top. I saw like 1 or 2 in top 10. They see it, what I see. But what I see at this guy, man, this guy's gonna be a starter, and whoever gets him is gonna be an absolute steal. I think he could do it all. He's a do-it-all back. He can block.
I don't see it.
He's got power. He can jump. He can hurdle. He can catch. There's nothing this guy can't do, in my opinion. And I think he's got. Let me check out. I want to see what his speed is. I don't think he's actually that fast. I think he's got like 4.45 speed.
Yeah, it's 4.45.
4.45. So he's got that kind of speed. He's got the size of 6'2", 225 pounds. I think he can do it all, and he's a bell cow. So I think he's amazing. And I don't understand. When he goes into the combine, look out for his name. He's going to climb up draft boards because of it. Just watch. I'm that confident in this guy. So I love Ollie Gordon II. I think I'm absolutely in love with this running back. So anyway, I got you speechless.
Yeah, I'm not big on Ollie Gordon. I mean, I don't. Where do I have Ollie Gordon? Oh, I have him at number 11 on my list. Ollie Gordon. Yeah. I mean, he just. Yeah. He
can do both. He can break with one tackles and bulldoze.
he's not like Hampton or Johnson. Those two are elite level break as far as breaking tackles. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see it.
So confusing, right? I got you. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
I really don't
expect
see it.
that guy.
I really don't see it. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, he's not very good at pass protection. He's not very good. He doesn't have burst of speed out of the pop. Yeah, I just didn't see it this year.
All right,
They didn't use him very much because he just wasn't that good on their team.
You watch, he can. Oh my god, I don't know how you don't watch this guy and think, holy crap, is he incredible?
No, I did like him. I think in 2023 he was on my list, but I didn't. I didn't have him.
I know it's not your typical. I get it. I understood. When I was making this list, I was thinking to myself, holy crap, like I'm gonna blow him away with this decision. I just think he's that good. I love this running back. He's my gem. He's my sleeper pick gem.
I definitely don't see it.
And I think he's one of the best running backs, if actually behind Genty, because we already know who number one's going to be. But
yeah,
I think he's top tier. And we'll see. I could end up being wrong, and then it all just comes back at me in a very bad way. But I'm shooting my shot. I'm shooting my shot with my sleeper. I'm shooting my shot with the guy who I think is going to be great in the end. So, all right. Who is your number one running back? And we all know
that's easy. That's Genty. I mean, he's the guy. I mean, you compare his stats historically against the top running backs, elite running backs we have in the NFL to when they were coming out of college, and he beats them all statistically and everything. So, I mean, it's obviously Genty, right? The only thing you worry about is the wear and tear. So, that's another knock on Scatbo, by the way, is wear and tear. The amount they used him at Arizona. So that's the only knock I have against him. I mean, other than that, there's nothing against it. I mean, it's nothing that, like, I'm like, oh my God. No, he's going to be an elite running back. You're going to get a day one starter. Your number one running back. A lot of these guys
get like a
could
Todd
be
Gurley effect. We're going to get like 5 years out of him, kind of type deal.
It's so hard to say because every once in a while, you get these guys like Frank Gore that last 20 years in the NFL. But do they stay at that elite level? No. So it's, you get what you get in running backs. So, but Ashton Genty, if you get 5-6 great seasons out of him, I think it's worth it, right? Because you're getting that elite guy. You're not having to worry about that running back position for 5 or 6 years. So, and I think a lot of these running backs, I mean, most of them in this top 10, even that Ollie Gordon guy, he could be a number 1, 2 in a 1 and 2 system. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd say even my top 15 in a 1 and 2 running back system, they're still technically starters, right? Because it's a 2-back system. So you need 64 running backs technically. So a lot of these running backs in my top 15 are probably starters because a lot of these guys, it's a deep running back class. And I think these are good running backs that do have potential. And there's some big, I mean, like you talk about, you caught me off guard with him being at number 2 and I have him at my number 11, but I mean, Ollie Gordon, I mean, he's got that prototypical style body for a running back.
It's not like what I said with Hampton. Like I do think he's going to be a starter, but I don't think he's going to be like as good as you make him out to be. But he's still a starter in this league, and that's how, like you said, it contributes to what we're saying about this draft class.
I think for me, what puts Hampton above the rest is his elite athleticism. The kid's just got athletic genes above everybody else. But anyways, it's I think all these guys are going to be 1s and 2s. I think they'll be 1s and 2s in the NFLs, and they'll all. I think the only maybe one that might get knocked, we'll see after the combine, is Scatbo, just because of his fumbles and his damn 40 time, right? Yeah. But I like Scatbo, so you hope that you hope he gets picked up for somebody that he's not going. I don't think I can see him in the 3rd or 4th round, just because maybe the 4th, but maybe. If his 40 time improves, I don't know, because it's so hard. He's a good out of the back receiver. Could he play fullback? I guess in today's NFL. I mean, maybe not a traditional style fullback. He's not going to lead up the
Well, if
pocket
they use him
and
as
be
if
a
like the
run blocker.
49ers use Kyle Juszczyk, you could probably do it that way. Because
Yeah,
Kyle
he's not the
Juszczyk-
size of Juszczyk, but I guess he could be out of the back, that two-back system, as a receiving back, not a lead run blocker, not your traditional fullback. I guess if you use him in that sense, okay, I can see that. But that's just a two-back system. So, I mean, that's running backs. It's I don't think it's as hard as quarterbacks. Quarterbacks, it's way more mental. Running backs, it's about their physicality and their bodies, injury wise, things like that. Like I said, I mean, Judkins, I think he would be a good running back if he didn't have that injury, and he just, he's kind of a.
What kind of injury did he have? Do you know?
Fuck. Look.
Because I was wondering if it's like a knee injury or something.
I thought it was a lower body injury.
Like abdominals is bad, but it's not as nearly as bad as legs aspect of it. Like if his legs are fine, then I probably believe him more. But when I watched highlights, I kind of thought Judkins looked a lot better than Henderson, in my opinion, from what I saw.
It was a hand injury, but it was I guess it's not that big of a deal.
Okay,
I thought it was something else, but he ended up. It cost him the season. So,
Genty, I agree with you on your number one. Genty's obviously clear cut number one. I mean, it's not even. It's relatively.
You can't argue that. Yeah.
Yeah, none of these running backs. What's weird is we're saying this is a deep running back class, but it's very rare running backs should be drafted in the first round.
There's Genty, and then there's everybody else kind of falling down the list. Yeah, there's tier 1 Genty, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean,
he's in a league of his own. Like you said, the wear and tear probably a problem, but I still think he's a first round draft pick, even if like you just get 5 years out of him, just because of that elite play you're going to get out of such a guy for at least 5 years for sure. I think that he could. He's going to be a game changer for anyone who drafts him.
Record breaker. I mean, he
record
could be
breaker
one of those record breakers. Yeah.
He's a Jahmyr Gibbs type. He's a and the potential of what you thought Bijan Robinson was going to be. He's that guy and more. I think he's going to be a top 5 back in this league. I think he's someone you're definitely going to have. And if he goes somewhere, if he falls to like 20 or 15, just because some people are scared of that fear of like the wear and tear, he's going to go to a team with a great offensive line. He's going to go to a team that's a Super Bowl contender and immediately make an impact to whatever team that's already, being impacted by possibly wide receivers, great quarterback or whatever. So Genty, honestly, he's the number one guy. He's just insanely good. And like you said, Boise, I think you said this, but Boise State just kind of used him to the ground because he was that.
He was their offense. Yeah. I mean,
So I do think that Genty is going to go somewhere. Probably that's the funny thing is like usually running backs of this stature, of this legend, usually gets drafted in like top 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Cowboys.
I feel like, Cowboys. I feel like Cowboys should draft him.
Yeah.
Like there should be no other person you're looking at. If Genty falls to you, that is your biggest hole on your team. Get Genty. You need to draft Genty. But if the Cowboys don't draft him, I could see him falling to like maybe late in the 20s.
20s, yeah. I agree.
He needs to go somewhere fantastic who can actually use him. Like Jake says, I mean,
oh my God. You
the Bengals even, possibly.
Great team, yeah.
So Genty's going to have a great career no matter where he goes. I feel like even if there's a bad offensive line somewhere, like if he went a top 10 somewhere, he would still do fantastic. He's the guy. He's definitely the guy, and whoever gets him is going to have someone who's going to contribute to the team regardless. So, and there is absolutely no like, oh, he could be this and he could be this top 5 guy. No, he is this guy, and that's difference between the other tiers guys. Like, okay, this guy could be this. So, all right, so those are our running backs. Those are our quarterbacks. Just to go through it real quick, mine was Sanders, Milroe, tied for 5 because I don't even have a top 5. Kyle McCord, Quentin Ewers, Jackson Dart, and Cam Ward are my quarterbacks. My running backs were Caleb Johnson, Scatabo, Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon, hot take, and Genty. Who are your quarterbacks again and running back?
Quarterbacks 5-1: Sanders, Milroe, Drew Aller, Cam Ward, and Jackson Dart, then Cam Ward. But it's kind of backwards.
Yeah, he's
And
getting
then
drafted.
running backs, Dylan Sampson, Trevion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, O'Marion Hampton, and Ashton Genty, of course. And, this is all subject to change. I think a lot of this will change too once you see the combine.
Combine's going to change the game.
Yeah, combine will change this probably drastically for a lot of the, especially running backs. I change it quite a bit once I see their 40s, their shuttles, things like that. I change my my review on them. So we'll see how it turns out, who shows up, and then you have their senior days and things like that will change it. So this is all just kind of going on what we've seen throughout the year. Senior Bowl, things like that. So a lot of this will change. I think Genty's the only one that's safe.
Yeah,
in his spot.
that's not
For me, I mean, Hampton could change for me.
skip
I mean, yeah. I mean, Genty's going to be safe. The only one that, anybody else can change. Hampton could change for me. I'm really big on him, and I think Caleb Johnson could be good too. But I think
I like Caleb Johnson a lot more than Hampton. Like Caleb Johnson has this, literally my only knock on. I think Caleb Johnson could be a lot more. Like he would be number 2 almost if he could. And all these officers have questions, which obviously hold people back. It's just the holes that he had. That's the only knock I have on him. But he can do everything else I love. So, all right. Do you have time for a mock draft? You want to jump into that real quick?
Yeah, we could do it. How many rounds is it?
We'll do 4 since we have 5 draft picks in this 3rd and 4th round, 1 in the 2nd.
Yeah, we can do a quick one.
Yeah, I'll do a quick one real quick. All right, let me go ahead and share this tab. It's got a shit ton of ads. We're doing Pro Football Network this time. Not we use a different draft simulator, so maybe this will be a lot more fun, a lot more different. Okay. All right. So I didn't get a shout out yet to this guy yet, since we're jumping into a new segment. One in the house. Jumping into the whole Debo thing. I got a couple of people messaging me already on my Discord saying, "Hey, did you hear about this Debo stuff?" Yeah, man, it does sound like he's gonna end up being traded, not be part of this team this year. Hopefully, I really do hope that we don't just take the fucking cap hit. That's my only concern. If we trade the guy, just the cap hit is the problem. So, but it does sound like that dude's not going to be on this team, regardless of what we get from a 6th, 7th round pick. Whatever it is, it's not going to be a lot. I want you guys to know that right now. Whatever we get for Debo,
everybody's expecting a 1st round pick. We're not getting that for Debo, by the way.
No, there's no way.
Don't expect a high round pick for Debo. So it's going to be a crap pick. Expect that, and we'll have to deal with it.
Hopefully, honestly, I would give up a pick. I'd be like, here's Debo, take the cap hit. Here's a 5th round draft pick or some shit. I would do that. Like, here's a 5th round draft pick.
Take him.
Yeah.
Please. We don't want him anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to just take him, dude. All right, I got to let my dog inside. We'll bring it right back. But yeah, Debo is go, man.
Oh, shoot. This is going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? I doubt we'll get a 4th for him still. I mean, he had a one of his worst. He's coming off his worst season. So I think, if anything, we're going to get like a 5th or 6th for him. Best case. I mean, getting a 4th rounder for Debo is out of the question, probably.
I don't even think you're going to 4th out of him. I think you're.
No, I said a 5th or 6th if we're lucky, just because he's coming off his worst season of his career. So
worst season, the cap hit, like
we're asking them to take on a lot of penalties if they're willing to. So I don't think we trade him.
You don't
I think we hold on. I don't think we should. I think we hold on to him this season if he wants to sit his fat ass on the bench. Let him sit. I don't care. We pay for him. Let him sit. Who cares? Let him be disgruntled.
Yeah. I do agree with that. Like, if you can't get a partner out of it that can take the cap hit, then I think you should just keep him, have him disgruntled anyway, and just let him lose his stock in general and just get rid of him next year. I'd much rather do that than just get a 6th round pick and then have that huge ass cap hit. I agree. And that was something I was saying before all this news came out was just it doesn't matter because we can't just get rid of him. It's not that simple of just saying, hey man, you got to go. I want him gone. Like, don't get me wrong. I want him gone, but that restructure we did last year was a favor to him. We did a favor to him, and he did not deliver this previous year. And now he wants to pull this shit. Well, guess what? Give us our money back. Give us our money back, and we'll fucking trade your ass.
Give us $31 million, and we'll trade you.
Yeah, just get rid of the $31 million. You're confident in your ability to play. You're the one that thinks we're holding you back. Give us our money back then. Give us our cap space, okay? It's such a complicated situation, and I do think he ends up being traded. Well, based on what I just heard now, wanting it out, and based on what Debo said and the way he talked, it sounded like the 49ers agreed to get rid of him. It sounds like so, but it just
they're gonna have to redo his contract.
Yeah, the contract is going to have to be redone. I mean, regardless. So
only way you can do it.
Only way. I agree. It cannot be traded. In this scenario. So but also, guys, don't get mad if we end up giving up a draft pick to get rid of him, because that's what's going to take if to get the cap off the books. Because if we get $31 million back on our cap, man, that's something we could spend in free agency. That would be immense. That would be insanely good for this team. Like we can get O-line, the D-line, the D-end even. Like if we can get that $31 million back, man, fucking phenomenal. Honestly, how about I just thought of this. How about we take all the cap of Myles Garrett, right? And we give you 2 first-round draft picks. You take all the cap of Deebo Samuel. And so we give you 2 first-round draft picks, Deebo Samuel, and all of his cap. You give us Myles Garrett and all your cap. We swap. That's something. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this mock draft. Let's do it. Picking nothing but 49ers. We're going to do a normal speed kind of draft so we can get a little bit going. All right, enter this solo draft. First pick is Shedeur Sanders. Hold on, I'll pause this real quick. So Shedeur Sanders is going to the Titans. Cam Ward is going to the Browns. This is something we talked about in our quarterback situation. This is the worst outcome for Cam Ward.
Poor kid.
Yeah. So, and this is Pro Football Network. Poor kid. Abdul Carter goes to the Patriots. Travis Hunter goes to the Jags. S. Jenny goes to the Raiders. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Reject.
Reject. You don't want to look at the. We got the 27th pick, 59th pick, and all of this.
Screw that. Doesn't do us any good.
Oh, we're not trading with the Chiefs. That's not happening. Yeah.
Fuck the Chiefs. Yeah. Reject.
All right.
It's just pick.
So, real quick.
Oh my God, Will Johnson's there.
Will
the best corner. Take Will Johnson, best corner in the fucking draft.
That's what I was thinking, dude. I was like, I wanted to bring this up. There's must draft picks in this draft. And
oh my God, how did nobody
Graham.
pick Will Johnson? Don't see
Mason
him
Graham,
being
Turner
there.
McMillan, and Will Johnson are on this list.
I guess you go Mason Graham.
Oh,
because we need defensive line. You need defensive line. Will Johnson's probably the best. He's the best corner. I mean, him and Travis Hunter are.
Saints picked Chevelle Revel over him.
That is stupid. That's not going to happen. That's not. This is so fake.
This is so fake. You want to restart?
No. Just take Mason. No, take Mason Graham. I mean, he'd be impactful on our defensive line. I know you're not big on Mason Graham,
but I would much rather have Will Johnson than Mason Graham. I think Will Johnson.
Okay, Will Johnson's a beast.
McMillan, dude, is an insane one.
Who cares? Will Johnson would shut down McMillan. Will Johnson's a big cornerback. That dude is.
Will Johnson's insane.
He's I think he's one of those once in a lifetime defensive backs. I do. They don't come around a lot. He's a big defensive back that can shut them down. I love that kid.
All right, guys, you're the tiebreaker. I like Will Campbell, but he obviously wants Mason Graham. I think Will Campbell is going to be.
I said Will Johnson.
You think Will Johnson?
Yeah, take Will Johnson.
Quarterback three. He could be quarterback. He's going to be quarterback 1. Okay.
Cornerback 3. He'd be the number 1 cornerback on our team.
Yeah, he'd be the number 1 corner, and we would not need to draft another corner at all because now.
But I think we need to address the defensive line, right? I mean, think about where do we need to address? You know what's weird is I've seen Tyler Warren go into that kid is a beast too, that tight end, Tyler Warren, but we don't need a tight end.
Not 11.
So,
I
mean, I think you either go, we need to address our defensive line.
I'm glad you
or
agree
James
with that
Pierce
because
Jr.
I made a video on it critiquing the Tyler Warren pick, saying that's the stupid. I like him.
I think the kid's an elite tight end. It'll be a starter, but not on the 49ers. George Kittle's coming off a freaking great season. You kidding me? Why would you pick a tight end?
It was all right.
He was the best offensive player on our team. Okay, anyways, Mason Graham or James Pierce. We got to address our defensive line, right? But how do you pass the probably one of the best players, in my opinion, in the draft, Will Johnson?
Guys, we need help. I need help because I'm not big on Mason Graham, but I know the backlash I'll get if I don't pick Mason Graham here over Will Johnson. But Will Johnson is phenomenal.
Mason Graham's a game wrecker, dude.
He's like Christian Wilkins, dude.
He can stack them. Sheds blocks. I mean, he makes plays.
But his best
I think you go Mason Graham. Mason Graham.
This is just a mock draft. Why is
He's
this
6'3", 320 pounds. You can't move him off the ball. The dude, he's the best defensive tackle in the draft.
Terradome, who gets a lot in this draft, so I do like his opinion. Who will become an all-pro is what you ask at 11 in the draft. If you don't see him, trade down or get Cleveland on the phone.
I think Mason Graham or Will Johnson
will be an all-pro. I'm so confident in Will Johnson being a all-pro. But Mason Graham, I think, is just going to be Christian Wilkins.
I think.
All right, I'm going Mason Graham, I guess, because everyone else is saying Mason Graham, but I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'd rather Will Johnson.
Mason Graham, I guarantee is going to be really good in the NFL. He's
going to be good. He's going to be like Christian Wilkins.
He's going to be an all-pro. He'll be an all-pro defensive tackle, and Will Johnson will be an all-pro defensive back. You can't go wrong with either of those.
Will Johnson is going to
Will Johnson's the best defensive back. He's not going to be there in reality. I think the reality is we'll probably have a better chance at Mason Graham. I mean, if they're stupid to pick whoever they pick, restart this. This is bull crap. Restart this. We can't do this. Yeah, we can't do this because there's no way Will Johnson's going to be there. This is bull crap.
You want to restart it? Okay.
We have to restart it because I feel bad about that. Will Johnson's not going to be there.
If it happens again,
that's so unrealistic.
We have to roll with it if it happens again.
Yeah, that's so unrealistic. This is bull crap.
Okay. Restart.
Pro football's smoking crack. Who the hell doesn't draft Will Johnson? That's so stupid.
Terradome says, I'm with your decision, Wolfie, on Will Johnson. Okay, all right.
Will Johnson's going to be an all-pro. He's going to be an all-pro.
He's probably going to be the best corner
Mason Graham,
in the NFL at some point.
Yeah, and Mason Graham are going to be all-pro. They're both all-pros, but
all right, okay, that's okay.
We get Mulligan. Yeah, we get Mulligan. See that what just happened, Terradome? Restart. We got to reset button.
Oh my God, it's still there.
This thing's an asshole.
All right. Look. So this is what happened. This is what ended up happening. Cam Ward actually went to a place where he should have gone with his Titans. So went to the Browns.
I'm okay. Yes.
Why is Will Campbell being up this high? I understand he's good, but he's not. He's a guard. Abdul Carter. Will Campbell over Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. Yeah, I'm telling you, this thing is broken.
Malik Starks, Mikael Williams.
Who made this?
I know, dude. James Pierce. Not even my top 5 pass rusher. Dude, okay, so it's Ashton Genty still on the board. You got Mason Graham, Will Johnson. This is the worst. All right. So Poggy is pissed. You were right, Papa J. Honestly, I don't think Graham or Johnson will be there. Honestly, those are 2 players you trade up for.
Yeah, I don't see Graham or Johnson being there. They get picked in the top 10, hands down. All these teams need them.
So we're going back to the
anybody got dice they can roll?
Don't bring up DEI stuff. No politics. I want to hear that shit. Okay. Will Johnson, Mason Graham. Honestly, if Is this not a D-line class?
It is a D-line class, yes.
So if we get an all-pro now corner, that means we can get a D tackle in the second to third round that could potentially fill in those holes.
Yeah, we can get a defense. But look at all the edge rushers this stupid program's picking. I mean, James Pearson ain't gone there.
Yeah, it really honestly should have been Mason Graham right there. Or Will Johnson. Mikael Williams is
Will
nice.
Johnson should have gone to the Saints, if anything.
Yeah, why is McLean?
And then Mikael Williams went to the Jets? No, Will Johnson would have gone to the Jets. They just lost their best defensive back.
So do you want to pretend as if because I would not have picked James Pearce anyway, and I would not have picked Malachi Starks. So do you want to pretend like they're off the board and then we get somebody off of that? Do you want to do it that way?
No, we're picking. No, we're going to take
All
Will
right.
Johnson. We're going to go with your.
All right,
your
Will
thought on
Johnson.
that. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Because obviously we're never going to get
Yes,
him.
it is, Steve-O. Stop it. All right, Will Johnson. All right, I'm going Will Johnson. We're going Will Johnson. We got an all-pro corner, baby.
Yeah.
We got an all-pro corner. Let's go.
Terrible. I can't
Look at all
believe
these
this.
trades. Goddamn. Ashton
Jeez.
Genty went to the Steelers. Joshua Simmons, went to the Texans. That's my man. My man.
Who is drafting these players?
Yeah, this is some crazy ass picks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay.
Oh my
right.
goodness.
Jameer Stewart went to the 42nd overall. It's crazy.
Mm.
Reject.
Yeah, get out of here.
Okay. All right. So let's go through the list real quick to see who we missed
Oh,
out.
Derek Harmon, that's a pretty good defensive tackle, actually.
All right, let's go back up here. So Will Johnson, the corner, Siobhan Ravel went to the Cowboys. Nice. They didn't pick
Wow.
Genty. Mason
Idiots.
Graham went to the Dolphins. Okay. Tyler Warren went to the Colts. Okay.
Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks. They are going to lose possibly Ronnie Stanley, so that kind of makes sense a little bit. Luther Burden III is the second best wide receiver, I think, in this draft. So that's actually a pretty good one. Booker, I don't understand the Booker one. Cameron Williams, I don't even know who the fuck that guy is, to be honest.
Cameron Williams, yeah, he's a guard.
He's a guard, okay. Benjamin Morrison, that guy's the second best corner, I think. He should have gone over Ravel. Jalon Walker, the guy
Walker,
who
Georgia,
went to the
yeah.
Broncos. Matthew Golden.
I'm not big on him. He wouldn't have gone in the first round, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think
Colston Loveland wouldn't have gone in the first round.
Yeah, I think he's gone in the first round. I think he's good.
I think he's outside the first round. I think
Josh
there's other
Simmons,
players.
that's my boy. Sad to see. At least he went to a team I actually want him to go. Mike Green, one of my favorite pass rushers, goes to the Bucks. I could see that. Walter Nolan at the 20th pick. I could see that. Armand Membu went to the Commanders. I could see that one too as well. I think Jihad Campbell is a little. Yeah, I think he's a little too much there. I don't think he's that great. Your guy Jonah went to the Browns to protect Shedeur Sanders. Poor guy.
Both their careers are over.
Yeah, right. Landon Jackson, that's kind of sad to see. I do like this safety a lot. I think he's a pretty good safety. Donovan Jackson. Omarion Hampton went to the Raiders, your guy.
I can
Ursary,
see that.
I'm not a big fan of him. My favorite, the guy I was going to pick up.
Bannon Jr., yeah.
I fucking love that tight end so fucking
He's
much.
pretty
dude.
good, yeah. I like Bannon.
He's so good. Xavier
Old
Watts.
Fanny Jr.
And then Shamir Stewart. They got a terrible edge. The Cardinals did. And now we're
I don't
going
think
to
he's too bad. I mean, he's not terrible. Look at Jalen Milroe still sitting there. Congratulations, buddy.
He's going to fall in like a third or fourth round mark.
Hey, click on defense.
Juan says he should have taken Mason Graham. Nah, dude. If this is a D-line draft, then get a guy that's not.
D-line's really deep in this. I think you can get him in the third, fourth
So you
round
might as well
too.
get somebody that leaps in tier. You might as well do that. Defense-wise, you got Derek Harmon. I think that's the pick.
Yeah, I do too. Derek Harmon's a good.
Prince. Oh, my God.
And Princely's still there. That's pretty crazy from Ole Miss.
I fucking love Princely, and I like Harmon.
I think Derek Harmon's a really good pick. He's a pretty dang. I know he's from Oregon too, but I don't want to sound like a homer. But he's a damn good plug-in piece in the middle there.
First round pick. Yeah, right.
He is. He's going to go. He's probably going to go early second round. So I think he's right there where he should be.
God, Royal Princely is pretty good. It says Terradome. I like.
Yeah,
Princely,
I do like
so-
Princely. I do, but I do like Princely. Fuck.
Okay, let's see what's our next pick? Not until third round. That's right. Seventh. He's not gonna fall there. He's not.
Nah.
What kind of edges do we got? Jack Sawyer. I like Jack
You're
Sawyer.
big on Jack Sawyer, yeah.
Yeah, he's like my fifth. Kenneth Gennard. Kyle Gennard. He was not bad either.
David Walker. Actually,
Now D tackle wise, Derek Harmon
TJ Sanders, South Carolina, he's pretty good too.
and Shamur Turner.
Shamir Turner's not too bad. Derek Harmon's where it's at defensive tackle, though. He's the last really good defensive tackle you're going to get. Other than that,
You're listening to some Leonard Skinner in the background.
Huh? Oh, that's not me.
So we got So what are we doing? Derek Harmon then? Just because it's a steal of 43. And
I think it is a steal. I think he's a late first round, early second round pick.
That makes me sad though, because I like Prince. Okay, yeah,
I like Prince, but I think we're gonna get. I mean, there's still some picks later on at defensive end that we can still get. I mean, edge rushers are
Jack Sawyer fall.
Stacked.
Jack Sawyer fall.
Jack Sawyer fall.
It's not gonna happen, but we'll see. All right, so Derek Harmon, guys. So we don't get Mason Graham, but we do get Derek Harmon, and I think that's pretty good. So far, we get a number one corner. Now we don't have to worry about corners anymore, and we got Derek Harmon on the squad. This is a good draft, I think. I think we got the best corner in the draft.
That will never happen. This thing is terrible. I can't believe this thing.
Oh, he's gone. Jack Sawyer, stay, don't you? No, he's gone. He went to the Bills. Damn it. That makes me so sad.
Oh, the Bills? Really?
He went to the Bills. Yeah. Kyle Gennard went to the fucking Giants. Okay, that guy's gone. Caleb Johnson went to the Browns. He's dead. All right. Reject. Okay. All right. So this is who we got to work with. TJ Sanders from South Carolina, D tackle. So we already drafted D tackle, so we're good there. Jalen Rolls from Utah State. Chris Paul Jr., Dorian Strong. Honestly, I don't like any of these guys really too much around this area. Gunnar Helms is actually not a bad tight end.
Yeah, I don't want tight end there.
I think he's like one of my top. I think he's like someone I've researched. I like him at 5 or 6. Tight end. Holland Pierce from Rutgers is a fucking huge man. He's huge.
It's like 6'7", isn't he?
Yeah, he's 6'7". He can move fast too at that.
What do we have left at edge?
I might go I kind of like the Rutgers guy there. Edge. Terradome says Andrew Makuba is Earl Thomas, Jimmy Ward. That's crazy.
I'm not that
that's
big
crazy.
on Makumba.
We got David Walker from Arkansas, Ashton Gillette.
Did you say Gillette?
Gillette, yeah. Josiah Stewart from Michigan, Braden Swinson, Taylor Bryan, Jared Ivey, Jordan Bush. God, I haven't gotten this far in edge rushers yet, but I really don't know who to pick here. Juwan says, get Makuba. We need a safety. I don't know about Jair Brown. Like Juan hates Jair Brown. He does not believe in Jair Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he thinks this one previous year was just enough of Jair Brown. I don't think he played that bad. He had some problems, but sophomore slump. He had a great rookie year. So,
I mean, I think Josiah Stewart's the best edge rusher out of all of them, in my opinion.
You got Josiah Stewart from Michigan.
Yeah, I think he's the best. Yeah, Makumba out of Texas is the best one.
Is he fast?
Who?
Makuba? Is he fast?
He's a good coverage guy. Let me look up Makumba.
Yeah, let me Makumba. See what kind of size he's got.
Makumba.
Malachi Starks. Emery,
yeah, he runs a 4.33. Yeah.
Then I'll probably go that guy then, because we need the speed.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't lose that edge rusher.
What was his rank?
Go Makumba. Josiah
Makumba,
Stewart is 86. Yeah.
Oh,
I think they've got him dropped pretty low. That's kind of crazy. I I think Josiah
All right.
Stewart's
Yeah,
underrated.
we gotta go Makuba. That's too fast. All right, guys, we're going Makuba. We listen to you. We listen to you. We heard you. We heard you. We heard you. All right, so we're good on safety now. Now we don't have to worry about safety anymore.
I'm not
Gunner
huge on
Henderson!
Macumba, but I think he's good in pass coverage. I think his tackling lacks a little bit.
Quinn Ewers went to the.
He missed some tackles,
Raiders.
if I remember right.
Oh, Gray Zabel went to the Saints. God damn it. Okay, so, all right, who we got out of all? I think your guy's gone. I think your edge is gone.
Jameer Tuner.
Dude, there's no more edges. We have to draft an edge at this point because
No,
we already got
don't.
the D tackle. Shamir Turner's not bad. I think he's better than Shamir Stewart. I don't know why fuck Shamir Stewart's better than him, higher than him. I don't understand that part.
What do you want, though?
I mean, who do we got for edge? I guess linebacker. You got Jay Higgins from Iowa. Danny Stutzman is probably going to be our 4th round pick there because I like him a lot. He's like my favorite linebacker. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like him a lot.
That kid from Oregon had a huge look at linebackers real quick. He's probably already gone.
Jeffrey Bossa.
Bossa had a huge senior game. He's predicted now to go to 3rd or 4th round. Yeah, huge senior game. Looked really good.
You know we haven't drafted an offensive lineman yet.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
I'll go there. Oh.
The Rutgers guy is gone, so that's sad. I wanted him.
Ernest
Will
Green
Howard
third. I'm
from,
not
Will
big
Howard
on-
from Ohio State. That's a quarterback, though.
Nah, he's going to go in the 7th round. No,
I
I'm
don't know
just
why I
kidding.
thought that was the line. I just did.
Charles
Ernest Green
Brown,
third.
William and Mary. I don't remember him.
Ernest
Ernest Green. He's no, I wouldn't go with Ernest.
Jake
Green.
wants to know if there's any good Texas A&M players. I think that's
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, I wouldn't say.
what's his name? Shamir Stewart's Texas A&M. I like him.
Yeah.
D tackle. Oh my god, I don't like where we're at right now, guys. I don't like it because we need O line and we need edge.
Well, we screwed ourselves picking players we don't need.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, we kind of did. Like
Shamir
I
Stewart, yeah, Jake. Shamir Stewart's kind of your guy out of.
I don't think we should have drafted that safety, guys. I think that was a mistake.
No,
I
it's
do
fine.
like because we don't really have O line now and edge. We're so
Ernest
two biggest
Green.
needs.
Why do I know that name? I gotta look him up. Hold on.
From Georgia? Here says Chase Lunt looks decent from UConn. It's not bad.
Oh, I thought Ernest Green sounds really familiar.
What about center? Is there good centers? We fucked ourselves, man. I think our first draft was better. I think our first draft was a lot better. Trying to find the center that I like. Oh, not on here.
No.
I don't know, y'all. I think we fucked ourselves. There's a good center at Georgia. Ernest Green the third.
Well, Ernest Green, he's already gone to Georgia, kid.
Western Franklin's a way late round pick.
I mean,
Oh.
Ernest Green, I don't even have him on my list. Oh, yeah, he's number
6'4",
29.
320 pounds, a powerful and athletic offensive line with a high ceiling and dominant force in trenches. He combines impressive size with excellent footwork. What's his knock? The main
His
area
pad
he's
level.
improved his pad level by bending at the knees as opposed to the waist and can both cost him
Hand
leverage.
timing and playing can be inconsistent, occasionally allowing defenders to get into his chest. Gets pushed into the quarterback a lot. Yeah, I didn't even have him on my list. He's a sophomore. Go to all. What do we got available? Fuck it. Let's just draft. What do we
Yeah.
got available.
Shamir Stewart is like is the one that
Turner.
really pops off the most.
Just
Sure,
Shamir Turner. Yeah, I would go with that.
No, man, we got
We
it.
just
Check tight end. No, we got draft need, man. Tight end,
Really?
You got Terrence Ferguson from Oregon.
No,
Luke Lackey, I've heard some people say like him from Iowa.
Mitchell Evans maybe.
What is he?
Notre
6'5",
Dame.
245. Big body, athletic tight end, well-rounded skill set.
Terrence Ferguson's pretty athletic. That's what you're looking for, but he
Definitely
can
these two.
he can block.
Well, Terradome
Terrence
says Chase Lunt, and I think we should go O-line and draft.
I don't know about the kid out of UConn. I don't like the kid out of UConn. Garrett Dillon.
Harry Forker lacked his ability, so he wouldn't be a good for the 49ers.
Nope.
Damn.
No centers. No centers are left. Go back to tackles.
We need centering.
I think Ernest Green's your best bet, but he's a developmental player. What a terrible third-round pick.
I guess we gotta go Ernest Green here because we have to. We cannot go anywhere else. There's nowhere we can go. Juan said should have taken an edge in the first round. Your Will Johnson temptations got the best of you.
Y'all say that, Juan. Y'all say that.
Will Johnson.
We have an elite defense now.
All right. Honestly, let's do this. Okay, since in free agency, usually the 49ers get one big signing, so you're fine there.
It doesn't
So
matter. Yeah,
I'm gonna claim that we signed Drew Dahlman. We signed Drew Dahlman from the Falcons, so that clears our center situation. So we still need a guard, tackle, and edge.
Okay.
Okay.
Just take Ernest Green. I think he can be a developmental piece behind
McKivitz and all them. All right, we're going Ernest Green from Georgia, guys. That's what we're gonna end up doing here. We're good on D tackle. All right, Ernest Green. You pull the trigger. We got Jalen Reed, Shamir Stewart, Shamir Turner still on the board. Dude, I like Shamir. I like Turner a lot, man.
Kid. I'm surprised they didn't take him. He's a big kid.
Oh, he's 6'4", 300 pounds. Turner.
Yeah.
Dude, this is brutal. Papa just says we don't need center. We got Brendel. So I used our big free agent signing technically on Drew Dahlman. So
we got it all figured out, guys. Don't worry, we're fine.
Yeah. So we fixed that. So now we got center. We got a tackle now. So we need an edge. Backup.
We're not going to get an edge. We're going to have to address that in free agency. Jared Ivey.
Ivy Ole Miss?
Ivy, yeah.
I don't think he was that bad. He's 6'6", 2. He's a tweener.
Yeah. I would go Ivy.
Probably go Ivy here.
I like Ivy over Swinson.
Probably Ivy, right? Yeah.
I like Ivy over. Yeah. Check linebackers. Jay Higgins. Oh, Jay
Stutzman
Higgins
is still available. We have 138 pick. He's falling 38.
I think Bassa. I would go Bassa over Stutzman. Bassa had a huge. He looked really good. I'm surprised. He's gonna go up.
All right. So who we're picking?
Edge.
And who's the edge player we're gonna get? It was Ivy from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're doing. Picking Ivy from Ole Miss, guys. Boom.
Our draft has gone downhill. I want to trade out of this.
Drafting Will Johnson really fucked us there.
No, Will Johnson's a guarantee.
He is a guarantee. And then also, if we got Mason Graham, we didn't have to get Harmon, and then we could have got something else, maybe an O-line in there in that situation.
But I mean, we addressed Mason Graham's on our defensive line. Our defensive line is now going to be elite.
No, Seattle got Ollie Gordon the second.
Oh
no, man!
And they took Stutzman at. Oh, Bassa went to Miami. Damn.
You got to understand, Will Johnson is as guaranteed as it gets, dude. You got to stop hating on that pick. I'm going to tell you.
Will Johnson is the best defensive back in college, and he's going to be a All-Pro defensive back in the NFL. He's one of those once in a lifetime.
Probably a mistake in not getting an edge. Because right now we could. Because honestly, I think it was Derek Palmer's problem. Because if we got got Princeton at that point, then we could have got Shamir Turner later on. Because I'm high on him. So we actually could have got him later on in the rounds.
Probably,
so
but that's okay.
Moving on from Princely was a mistake.
Maybe.
Well, it's good to learn from our mistakes and kind of learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, who cares?
All right. we got 2 picks now. There's the last 2 picks here.
Jordan Birch, really?
Jordan Birch from Aragon.
Aragon.
He had 8.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 20. That's pretty good. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's just not good on run defense.
Yeah, but you don't
He
take
just
Will
had
Johnson when you have no D-line and you already have Demo and Green. Yeah, but if you get, like I said, if we drafted Princely
You got to shut down
in the second round, we could have got a D tackle
defensive
later
back. I mean, you're good.
Yeah, I don't regret the pick. I think the regret was taking Harmon over a edge rusher. I think that's the mistake that we did. All right. So who we got left? Well, we got the defense with the 4th round draft pick. I'm in love with. Oh, is he gone? Stutzman's gone.
Stutzman's gone.
Oh, dude, this is terrible. We got no more D tackles now to pick from. Oh, never mind. So Birch, what do we got left now?
Well,
So
we probably need some offensive pieces.
tight end wise, you got Terry from Oregon State, Taylor from West Virginia, Kaliki Latu, which is Karen Latu's brother, I think. Probably stay away from that. Neville from Virginia, I heard it wasn't that bad, right? I think he's kind of small.
Kid from
We need a back
UCLA.
tight end. What about running back? Who's running back lefts? Dylan Sampson is still available.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, dude.
I would take him. But we have 2
Terry
back-to-back picks. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm drafting Dylan Sampson. I did. I pulled the trigger. I'm sorry. Now we're good on running backs, guys. We're good on running backs. We got a top 5 running back in the draft. Well, I don't think Will Johnson or Mason Graham will be at the 11th pick. So you can say that about both situations there. Fucking Ravens took our guy. What's the last pick here? What should we go with? Beck, Nash, Noel, Weeze, Hudson. Is my favorite wide receiver still out there?
Oh, you took Sampson? Okay.
Yeah, I took Sampson. My favorite wide receiver, my steal is not there anymore.
Who was your steal?
I think his name is Savia Williams from TCU. Do it all wide receiver. He played all positions. He played running back. He played tight end.
I think he threw a pass too.
He threw a pass too as well. He can do 50-50 balls. He's fast. He's elusive. I don't know why he's so down the board, but I think I've heard the reason why he fell back in the draft is because of he was a do-it-all wide receiver. You don't know where to place him. And I think you just place him at wide receiver. So I think it's pretty simple. So who else we got? Who do we go with the last pick, man? What do you think the need is? We got edge. We got D tackles. We got a center now with Dahlman. Backup tight end was what we need next, I think. We got corner. We're good. Linebacker. So linebacker, backup tight end, and that's it.
What do we got a linebacker to choose from?
Linebacker and that's about it. Linebacker and the I can't think of the
There's nothing at linebacker.
There's nothing,
No,
yeah.
get out there. Yeah. No.
6'2", 229, pretty small.
No, he's not good. The kid from Georgia.
Edge, offense, backup tight end, which is so it's definitely gonna be a tight end. It's gonna be a tight end.
I think Mitchell Evans. Yeah, I mean, you drop off from there big time.
Leads Notre Dame at 24 with 3 receivers.
I was gonna say he was their good receiver. I don't remember him being a great blocker. So, but let him work with Kittle.
Let him work with Kittle. Okay, we go Mitchell Evans. All right. So this is our final draft class. I think our first one that we did was a lot better. I like the other one that we did. I thought that one came out a lot better in the end. The mistake, you can tell me what you think the mistake was. I think like I have said like 4 times already. Derek Harmon should have been a pass rusher instead, and I think that would have saved us a lot of headache because there's a few D tackles at the 99 pick and a 75 pick that kind of been probably been worth it. But Andrew Makuba is a starting safety, I think, especially with that speed. And with Will Johnson and Andrew Makuba, you no longer need secondary. Your secondary is perfect. Like
Will Johnson won't be there at 11. This is so fake.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, but
terrible.
Terrible. Well, I mean,
Terrible.
Mason Graham the last mock draft we did, Mason Graham fell all the way to like the 20th pick or some shit. So
yeah, there's no way Mason Graham and Will Johnson are going to be there unless they have a terrible combine in a week. They won't be there. They're the best players at their positions. They won't be there. Too many teams need them.
Yeah. Michael says we should have drafted Miami, Florida kicker.
In the third round, yeah, another kicker.
I think we get a grade here, right? Full results. We get a grade. Oh, no, it's just full results of everyone. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Where did Mason Graham with 13th in the end? So.
I think if he falls to 11, we'll end up getting him. I think that would be the pick for us to realistically take in the end is Mason Graham. Will Johnson will not be there at 11. I can almost guarantee you that. There's too many teams that need him. I mean, obviously Travis Hunter will go, but the Jets will need him. Saints need him. Bears could use him. I mean, there's too many teams that could use the services of Will Johnson, and Will Johnson's he's a top 10 pick, and so is Mason Graham.
James. So the players that won't be ahead of him for sure are. I don't think Will Campbell will be ahead of him.
No,
I don't think Malik Starks would be ahead of him. I don't think Kelly Williams would be ahead of him. I don't think James Pierce would be ahead of him. I don't think Nick Scoring. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions.
Too many picks that just seem too unrealistic. The Giants going with Will Campbell just seems really off to me.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I understand that offensive line's a need, but you don't have a quarterback, right? Yeah. And he's a guard.
The best player in the draft he should have gone number 1.
Abdul Carter
should have gone to the Titans. I think you picked the guaranteed best player in the draft. Abdul Carter. That dude's a beast.
Yeah, it would have gone.
Let's trade Debo in our first pick to get him.
I would love that. I would do it in a heartbeat. All right,
I'll take the 31 million cap hit.
You do it then. That's when you'll take the 31 million. All right. So I think next time that we do this, we need to pick the top 10. So that way, then we can simulate the rest. So that way, we know for a fact like certain players will be taken for sure. Like we can't because this is.
I know the Browns are going to pick some poor quarterback. So
I think it's going to go Carter, quarterback,
Cam Ward,
Travis Hunter.
Poor kid. I think Shador Sanders will end up probably at the Giants or the Raiders at number 6.
Yeah, Jason, you're right. Jason in the house. Yeah, I agree with you. Starks and Williams was a reach. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, Mikael Williams.
Next time, guys,
Michael Williams.
We'll do the top 10 ourselves, and then we'll put that out of the way. We might do that next week too, as well, just to fix this. I'm probably not even gonna make a video out of this, just because I don't like how it all unfolded. And I don't believe this is how it unfolded in any way. Derek Harmon's not going to be a 43rd pick. I don't think that's going to happen. No. There's some issues here that need to be addressed. So next time, I think next week we'll do another mock draft, and that'll be the real mock draft 2.0, because this was actually kind of ridiculous. So don't look too much into it, because we're not getting we're not getting Will Johnson and Derek Harmon. With the 43rd pick. Makuba, maybe. We'll see. But
Makuba. Yeah, Makuba might be there.
Yeah. So next week we'll do a real mock draft 2.0. So that way it's not total bullshit. All right. So I think big news that just got released, by the way, that I think we should talk about just real quick. I think Aaron Rodgers just got cut, according to Michael here. Yep. Aaron Rodgers reportedly told the Jets they are moving on without him. He's been officially cut from the Jets. Or maybe
congratulations.
And he will be a June 1st designation, according to Jay Glazer. Aaron Rodgers flew back to the New York Jersey last week to meet with the Jets about his future, only to be told that the team was moving on from him. If that means that he will be a June 1st designation, that allows him to sign with any team.
Good luck to him. Great job, buddy.
On March 12th, if he decides to
nobody wants that diva.
Yeah, I think that's not going to matter. I think no one's like he's not going to be a high priority quarterback. I mean, what's his name said the Browns might sign him. That's definitely a potential there. Someone in a some sort of team that needs a quarterback is going to sign Aaron Rodgers and think they're just fine at quarterback. So they're going to probably not draft Cam Ward. Might be the Giants even. They might do that. So what's his name doesn't have to leave. Aaron Rodgers could just stay in New York if he goes to the Giants. That would be freaking hilarious. But yeah, so Aaron Rodgers is definitely gone. So officially gone, guys. Aaron Rodgers is officially cut. Gonna move on.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Sign with some bum ass team. All right, so let's go ahead and go through everything just real quick, and then we will bounce out of here. It's been a 2-hour, 25-minute show. Poggy has a busy life right now, so shout out to him for getting the time in here and making this happen. I appreciate it, man. We love you here. Often people talk about like, hey, where's Poggy? Where's Poggy? So you know, you got to do more shows, man. You got
working in family.
So, Spartan in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Jason says, be a backup in San Francisco. Just watch. I swear to God, if that happens, I riot. I'm probably gonna boycott the season. I don't care how good the outlook is right now.
I'll still watch.
You'll still watch. All right, so let's go through it. Deebo Samuel. At first, I didn't know. I thought that he was.
Bye, Deebo.
I thought Deebo just was like, hey, I want a new contract. That's what I heard first. But apparently, he actually communicated to the team, I want to trade. I want out. I don't want to be on this team anymore. So that's official now. The problem with that is the contract thing has to be settled. And also, guys, do not expect to get a lot out of Deebo. You're only going to get like a 6th or 7th round pick for him, especially considering the contract that he has for this year. Because I just expect the 49ers to figure out a contract situation first. That's the only way that Deebo could get out of this contract, and the 49ers would actually consider letting him go and grant his request. It just would not make any sense to just cut him or just trade him outright and be like, okay, yeah, let's just do it. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. So expect some moves with Deebo. Expect some conversations of a new contract extension, not extension, I guess an extension, but a restructure. And he's not going to go to a team that's going to be in the NFC. I think that if we do trade him, Jason says, yeah, you are correct. If we trade him, it's a $31 million cap hit. I think it's actually more than that because you got negative $15 million also. I think it's like 47 really. But it's at very least $31 million for sure. And we can't afford that for 1 year of we wouldn't be able to afford.
Yeah, it'd be stupid. Like just let him sit on the bench and complain. Who cares?
Yeah, and if he's like, well, no, I don't want to give my guaranteed money. Well, sorry, man. You got something's got to give. You got to work with us to trade you because we cannot just trade you as that right now. So look out for the future for a restructure. Some people will be like, why did we restructure him? I thought we were going to trade him. It's probably just because so we can trade him. He is tradable after June 1st, though. So, and there is no trade post-trade June 1st designation. There's no designation for that. It's only for cuts. So if you ended up cutting Deebo Samuel, you have to do it after June 1st. But I don't think they would even cut him. I think they would rather just keep him on the roster in the end anyway. So look out for that. He's either going to get traded with the same contract after June 1st, or they're going to restructure his contract and try to trade him before the draft. That's what I think they should do instead. Where he should go is somewhere in the AFC, because just in case he decides to be like, well, I'm going to prove them wrong, he's got to go do that somewhere else in the AFC. I wouldn't do it with the Chiefs. I wouldn't do it with the Bills. I would send him to the Browns if I could. I would send him somewhere that I know for a fact he's not going to be a threat. Right, to the Titans, maybe. Titans wouldn't be a bad option. Send him to the Titans. 2 first-round draft picks and Deebo for the number 1 overall pick. Draft Abdul Carter, something like that. That's what Spartan says. Send him to the Titans. Yeah, I think so too. Send him to the Titans, Browns, Giants. I wouldn't mind sending him to the Giants, even though I know it's NFC, but I don't believe in the Giants. Jets wouldn't be a bad option. There's a few teams where I wouldn't mind sending him to. Just don't send him to a contender or Cowboys, Eagles, or division. That's all I really ask of that. Where do you think Deebo would end up going?
Browns.
Browns? All right. Michael says Raiders for Debo. I could see that as well. If he goes to the Raiders, I wouldn't mind trading him to there. They need to sell tickets, so I could see that.
Crappy team.
Spartan says sends him to years of playing for the Saints. Right. Hey, guess what? We could be like, here's Debo, 11th pick for your 9th pick, and we could possibly get Will Johnson. Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's not getting it like past.
Maybe we just trade our 11th pick and get Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think you should just trade the 11th pick and Myles Garrett. I haven't talked to you about that, actually. That's right. I guess real quick, I don't know how much time you have left, but Myles Garrett, man, what do you think of that? I haven't actually asked you about that. What do you think of Myles Garrett?
I'd love to get him. Kidding me?
I'm just saying. I'd
love to get him. Oh, yeah. No, I'd love to get him. Trade our pick.
His cap hit is $6.3 million this year and like $6.5 next year.
Yeah.
So, but we would have to. But
we'd have to re-sign him, and it would. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he had to re-sign him because he hasn't expressed he wants to restructure or re-sign his contract.
But you only get him for
2 years. I'd do it.
2 seasons. But then you put yourself in a must-win situation almost, getting that, as opposed to using that 11th pick. But yeah, I'm game. I mean, I'm not putting myself in that hot seat. So I say trade for him. See what, if he plays well these next couple of seasons, maybe you can get him on a team-friendly season, because if you're winning, we win a Super Bowl. Hey, I want to be on this Super Bowl franchise team, or maybe we can pick up his replacement over the next couple of seasons. I don't know. Yeah, I say go for it. If they're willing to take our 11th pick and we don't have to trade another first-round pick in the future, yeah, I say go for it.
You wouldn't give up what
I'd hate to give up another one, just because the whole
we suck at the first-round picks anyway.
We do. I know. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Give up a couple first-round picks.
Us an elite pass rush and a Super Bowl.
Yeah, if we can get Myles Garrett, yeah.
The thing about Myles Garrett, though, that I want to point out, though, is that the Browns, their cap hit, if they were to trade him, it would put them like way negative in cap hit.
Yeah, I know.
So we would actually have to take on
his.
So that's what I'm saying, like cap. Swap, because it's almost equivalent to Debo's cap hit. It's like $30 million, I think, against their cap. They traded him. Swap that. Swap Debo for Myles Garrett. We'll take his cap hit and all of his dead money. You take Debo and all of his dead money, and we'll give you a first-round draft pick. So you get more cap space, and you get the 11th pick while you take Debo off our hands. I guess you don't get the same cap hit, but you end up getting a player in Debo. So our math's fucked up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it will happen. So
they got to do something funny there with Debo.
They would have to do something funky. I don't see it end up happening for us. I think he's just going to go to another team, probably the Chiefs or something, knowing our luck.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So it's good to know that if we got Myles Garrett with Robert Saleh, that's another thing. Is like Robert Saleh has influence.
Oh my God.
He can be like, hey man, you can play for Robert Saleh, who's gonna have an elite defense. So, and we need that. And we need D-line. D-line's too important. So
we need D-line. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and bounce. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being part of this live. Check out Terradome's channel. He makes videos all the time. He's a content creator, awesome guy. He's draft stuff, cool dude. Thank you, Michael, for being part of this. Jake, well, thank you so much. Juan, thank you so much. Trying to yell about screaming in the crawling of the crowd.
These dogs. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. What's his name? Papa J, thank you so much for being part of this live, man. You're awesome. Mod, you're one of the best in the game. I appreciate you. Spartan, thank you so much for being part of this. Jason, I think I've seen you a couple of times. Thank you for taking the time to jump in this live. I appreciate your opinions, man. Val, thank you so much for being up here in the air. 49ers Brian, I appreciate you. Pop, thank you for jumping in here. I just noticed here. 49ers Brian in the house. Goodbye in the house. Just noticed you're here. Is there anyone else that I missed? Juan, thank you so much for being part of it. Steve-O, thank you so much as well.
Val.
Val, thank you so much for being part of this. I think there was someone else, wasn't there? Am I tripping acid? Jason, that's right. Jason, Captain Niners Massey, appreciate you being part of this, supporting the channel. And I think that's everyone else. If I missed anybody, let me know. Let me know in the next live, and I will address it, and I'll give you a shout out. So I appreciate it. To everybody who watched this later, sub if you like the content, if you like the opinion. That mock draft we did, ignore it. Ignore it. Okay, we're gonna do another one next week and get that shit out of the way. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And again, we will do the top 10 picks so that there's no bullshit in the top 10 situation. Also, like this live because every single like supports this channel, supports Poggy, gets all the more likes, convinces Poggy to come on the show more often. So be sure to hit that click and like button so that way my heart grows because every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby.